I wrote spoilerific. Apparently, not a word.
Absolutely
Why?
is a word.
Why, I don't know.
If the dictionary says that's not a word, the dictionary is wrong.
I'm just going to put... We're going to start with spoilerific reviews of Stranger Things, Umbrella Academy, and The Boys.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
And then I'll try not to accidentally spoil JJK manga again like I did last week.
Yeah, it's fine as long as we go... We're going to talk about the Jujutsu Kaisen manga now. Then it's fine. But to just, like, straight
Don't
up be
just randomly drop a sentence of what's happening. Thankfully, it wasn't any... Like, there are some much bigger things I accidentally could have said.
For sure. Like,
thankfully I didn't. I'll try and remember for next time. Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warnings. That's why I kind of do that. Oh no. My thing is doing that thing. I've got the chat box in the middle, but the text is the text is
not right.
It's black on a black background. Can I fix that really quickly? I'll fix that. I'll try and fix that really quickly. How do I work this? Font settings, text color. Here I am totally knowing how to use this. It's amazing.
Yeah, you are. Practice makes perfect.
I'm just going to say, is this okay? Ah, it's like magic. See, I'm amazing. I totally know how to use this.
Dreaming God.
I guess we'll start with Strange Things and the Umbrella Academy because they're quite old news now. Like,
yeah.
I feel like, well, Umbrella Academy kind of finished in between the break, right? I feel like I watched it. I can't remember if I watched the first bit of Strange Things and then I watched like all of Umbrella Academy and then the second bit. Or if Umbrella Academy came up before the first bit of Strange Things. I was just late on the...
As always seems to be the case with Stranger Things, it just sort of turned up one day. No one really asked for it or knew it was going to be there, but it was just there. And we were like, okay, hello, Umbrella Academy. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But how did you find... Because we talked about the first half of Stranger Things.
We did. It was very good.
It was good. And we had kind of like... I was like geared up for this huge battle and ready to go. And then it kind of like it dropped off the hype train. I felt like it ended up here and then it kind of immediately came down to like a much less hyped level going into the last two episodes. Did you feel that? Or was
a little bit, yeah.
A little bit?
Well, I think the thing is, I waited a bit because I knew that was going to happen. So I watched all the first episodes, and then I only had about a day or so to wait before watching the last two, because I knew they were going to make us wait, and I knew I had the attention span of a freaking gnat. So I knew my hype would completely fall off if I had to wait more than about 2 days. So I went in while I was still very much in the kind of post season 1 glow.
Maybe that was my mistake then, yeah, because I kind of watched it all and then had the big gap. But I just feel like I was ready and geared up for this big fight, and then but when it came back into the show, it wasn't like at that point. It kind of fell off a bit, and they just did a lot of stuff again. Cause
they did. They do like their stuff.
The second half of the season came in pretty much mostly concentrating on Elle with the Doctor still, right? And so.
And there was what happens in what part now.
Yeah, that was when we came back for Strange Things, like part 2.
Yeah.
And for me, I felt like just as an overall, like it was good, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first half because I felt it built very well towards the end. But I felt like the second half was a bit lazily written. Every bit of dialogue kind of felt to me like they were going, "It's not this thing, it's that thing." I know it's this, but it's this. Like everything, and the interactions between Vecna and Elle, there was nothing cool or witty said. Like they were facing off, and he was supposed to be really scary, but I feel like there was nothing. Like I wanted more, is what I'm saying, between all the characters and all the conversations and.
That's what I think. My big problem with Vecna was this, which I suppose is kind of appropriate. It was the same problem I have with almost every big horror villain, in that he was super terrifying when he was just like a figure out of the corner of your eye that would show up every so often, kill one of your friends, and then fuck off again.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, the big reveal of who he was fantastic. And I loved all that, even if I did guess it ahead of time. Yeah. But once he was like a recurring character that was in, like, he was having whole conversations with people, he kind of lost a lot of his impact. And I do agree that the dialogue between him and Elle wasn't great. Like, there are some, like, I've recently been rewatching Mr. Robot, which, if you haven't seen it, is a must-watch TV show from a few years back. And there's a character in that called Philip Price that's just like, imagine every douchey CEO of every company you've ever seen in anything. He's that distilled to its most perfect form. Like, just so many of his lines, what he's saying is perfectly normal. But just like the way he says it and the fact that you know who he is just makes it all sound creepy and evil and wrong. Whereas with Vecna, who should have that kind of power, like, everything he said was just like, yeah, but you're clearly just a dude wearing 6 hours worth of makeup. I don't find you that intimidating, especially because I can just tell you're about to get your ass kicked by Elle.
By a group of teenagers.
Yeah, like, you're a Goonies villain. I'm sorry, you're not that intimidating.
And then the other reason I was upset with it is because they're making another season, so you knew it wasn't going to end. So you're like, oh, they're not going to kill him. They're not going to kill him. And the way that it happened was upsetting, obviously. Because, he got, like, they went in there and they didn't kill him and he got away, and obviously Max. And then, just upset. And we had the whole long-windedness with the doctor and Elle, and I'm like, oh, he's surviving all these bullets from, like, a guy with a sniper in a helicopter. He should be dead. He's not, and they're eking it out. No one cares. Kill him. We don't like the dude. Just kill him. Like,
they spent like 4 episodes going on about how much of a douche he is.
Yeah.
And then we're suddenly supposed to give a shit that he got shot. I was cheering. I did not give a crap if he survived or not.
I was happy with the fact that Elle didn't care. He's like, do you forgive me? And she doesn't give him anything. She just like, bye. And I'm like, good for you, because she's done with him. He's not her papa. He's a douchebag.
No, he's a bad daddy.
But there are bits of it that I loved.
We all know the bit.
Well, no. See, okay.
Oh.
So I loved.
Hot take alert.
Max's death, not death. Lucas. His performance in that moment, phenomenal. Poor Eddie. Yep, terrible. But the again, the actor who plays oh my god, names.
Eddie. We all know Eddie.
No, Eddie.
I think it's Joe Quinn.
No, who's the kid? The other kid.
Oh, Dustin.
Dustin. Oh, he's so cute. Dustin, again, his reaction to Eddie's death. Oh my god, these kids are such good actors.
Yeah.
They're such good actors, and I was just like,
the speech he gives to the guy's uncle at the end.
Oh my god,
Holy
I was crying
fuck.
just as much as I did at the death with him telling his uncle. Yeah, it was emotional, to say the least. I was distraught. I'm just gonna turn one of my lights down a bit. I'm creating like too much shadow here. I'm just gonna. Okay. I'm going to do a little journey over here.
Have fun.
And go like this. I'm going to go.
But yeah, I was very much kind of. I thought I was done with the show. I was like, all right, this is season 4. It's obviously going to, like, I'm not sure it particularly needs a season 5. I don't know how they're going to make this work. I don't know if they're even going to be able to make it work. Yeah. I'm out. But then, like, just the last 5-10 minutes, like the floor is fucking cracking open and hell is emerging into. It's like, yeah, okay, like, fuck you, I'm in. I hate you. I didn't want to be in for season 5, but yeah, okay, I'm in for season 5, and I hate you. Thanks.
My mum gets frustrated with how the adults seemingly have no idea what's going on. So when the floor cracked open and everything happened, she's like, well, the adults are going to know now, aren't they? They can't not notice that. And then it's like, earthquake hits Hawkins, and she's like, seriously? But yeah.
Never underestimate the power of denial.
My main thing for the next season is like, Will's finally going to get some time to shine because he has the head thing, and it's like, oh, he's connected to Vecna. He was his first victim that we're learning, right? He was the first victim, and he survived there for however long, and there's loads of things pointed out now that while he was in the Upside Down, he was listening to the song or singing the song a whole time, which I'm trying to remember is the Should I Stay or Should I Go is like the song from the first season, isn't it? Like that his brother.
I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch all the previous seasons before the final season comes out. I have the distinct suspicion there's going to be a lot of little callbacks and hints to various things that have occurred previously, and I cannot remember a fucking thing. I only barely remember season 4.
Right, yeah. So I'm excited to see where they take that with Will.
Yeah.
And obviously we had the whole. So you saw the painting.
We did.
Which we really wanted to see. We didn't see it for very long, but it was what you said, all the group together fighting.
As their characters and everything. Yeah.
And, yeah, you know, he's saying, why wouldn't Elle like you? Because of all these things, and you're the leader. And it's like, oh, he's confessing his love for you to tell you how great you are and why Elle loves you. But, you know, this is reasons why I love you. And then he has the kind of, he has the, you know, he's crying, again, really great. And then the kind of, the chat with his brother,
that was a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good one because it's like, okay, this is good. It's not just like
kind of saying it without saying it.
Yeah, they're not cramming in like his whole coming out story into this little space. They'll give that time to grow in the next season, and that's good because we need to do Will right, and he deserves to be happy, and he deserves. He deserves the world.
I have a feeling the buyers are going to be centre stage for the final season. It's going to be a very buyers-heavy season. And I'm fine with that because they've been very sidelined.
I wanted everyone to come together, and we got most of them come together, just not obviously the guys in Russia, but they joined the fight in their own way by fighting the smoke or whatever they call it. It's called various things. Dust, smoke, particles, whatever it is.
The monsters. They had their little brawl. Which we learn.
So the big takeaway that my brother kind of pointed out, and I was like, oh yeah, when Vecna or number 1 first gets sent to the up down, he is just standing there, and the Demogorgons are just going by. They don't attack him. They're just there. So it's like, the Upside Down was like a peaceful land. These creatures just lived there, and it's all fine and dandy. That's just their place where they live. And you see all the smoke in the distance, the ball of smoke thing, whatever it is, and Vecna takes control of it. Vecna's the one in control of that the whole time. So you're like, they're now gonna like free the thing. I get like. Because it's just its home. It's just a thing that lives in this demon like realm. So it'd be interesting, to see where that goes. It's to know that there isn't a bigger bad. Yeah. Vecna is the big bad, and we thought, if they kill Vecna, that smoke and whatever else in the Upside Down is going to be the next big bad. But no, because he's in control of it. Vecna is the big bad, and
always him.
So I liked that. That we're not just like, oh, Vecna's dead and we're going after the next thing. No, it is Vecna.
There's only so many times you can kind of be, and then there's a bigger boss. Like sometimes it's just that's the biggest boss. That's the end.
That's it.
Doesn't get any higher. Yeah.
Doesn't go any more than that. But yeah.
Although Duffers have already confirmed there's at least one Stranger Things spin-off coming, so maybe there will be bigger things later.
Yeah. Talking of spin-offs,
No.
because The Boys is going to get one.
Yes, at least. Yeah.
Called...
Did you watch Diabolical?
Diabolical?
The animated spin-off.
No, I didn't. I didn't know one existed. I was going to say I watched Invincible, which is the Amazon Prime animated series that's, you know, a similar-esque kind of thing. Better than The Boys, in my opinion.
Way better.
Like, absolutely
so
love
much
it.
better. Not even comparable. I'm a huge Invincible fan. I did a whole breakdown of every volume of the comics. Like, and what really makes me laugh is everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Invincible's really great," and I'm like, "Mate, we've only got to the bits where it starts." Like, most people that have read the comic think that everything up to now that we've seen so far is the bad bit before it starts to get good. The show literally has not even started yet. There's so much good shit to come. I can't even wait.
That's the thing with, like, yeah. Should we move on to The Boys? We can do The Boys first, as we've gone into it.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
I've never been a massive lover of The Boys, but it's one of those shows that I just keep watching anyway, kind of thing. Like, I watched the first season, and I thought, yeah, this, like, to start with, this is great, this is fun. Carla Urban swears a lot, it's, you know, it's good, whatever. And honestly, I don't know who enjoys watching all the weird stuff with Homelander and anything sex related in the show, because it's just dang weird and it's uncomfortable, and I sit there and I'm like, can we get to the next scene, please? Can we just move past this bit? Yeah, I just don't know what. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there's that element I just never liked in all of it. And then, like, season 2, I felt like Butcher was too Butcher and it was too much. I'm like, yeah, got a little bit, just kind of worked my way through season 2. And then season 3, I think I enjoyed more than season 2. But it was still just kind of like, I watched it.
Yeah.
And I kept watching it. Not necessarily because I'm like, oh, I really like it and I need to see where this goes, but just because I did. I don't know.
It's very much a show that I've started, so I'll finish.
Yes.
Like, I'm just watching it now because I want to see how it all wraps up, but I'm pretty sure however it wraps up is going to be disappointing. Because my big problem is, like, we just sat through season 3. What changed? Literally nothing is different now to what it was at the start of season 3. Season 2 ended. Oh no, Newman's the head popper and she's going for political power. We have to stop her. Season 2 ended. Oh no, Homelander's completely lost the plot and now thinks he can do anything. Like, that's exactly the same as where we are now. Newman has now gone for a slightly higher office, but is still the head popper and is still going for power, so we still need to stop her. Homelander is still a sociopath, still thinks he can do anything, and we still need to stop him. This whole season arc, you could just completely throw out a window, and the only thing that will be vaguely different is that now Butcher is on a short leash. He's got maybe 6 to 12 months left to live.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's face it, given the way he lives, he probably wasn't going to live that long anyway. So, I mean, it's not really changed a huge amount. Like, Huey's still a massive pussy. But what have we learned this season that we didn't know before?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Like, the only thing that's really changed as they move forward is that Homelander has his son on his side.
That's not going to be good.
But I feel like they were relying really on the introduction of Soldier Boy. And it's like, everyone's going to love Soldier Boy, but Soldier Boy...
I did love Soldier Boy.
I
quite like Soldier Boy.
I liked him. I like Jensen Ackles.
Yeah. His voice is a lot deeper than I think it's going to be.
Yeah. It's deeper than it ever was in Supernatural, right? He was doing, like, a deeper voice. Because he usually has, higher inflections and can go and has more like variation. He was definitely putting on like a Batman voice to kind of keep it all on one level. But
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah, it was a good performance from him, and it's like different, like seeing him play someone who's kind of bad. But yeah, now he's like captured again. So yeah,
back in the pod. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like honestly, Mother's Milk can stay, Frenchie can stay, Kimiko can stay. Everyone else can fuck off. I don't care. Those three we need to save. Everyone else can fuck off.
Yeah, for me, it's just like this season. I'm glad that there was a lot of Frenchie and Kimiko because they're my favourites, and I just want them to be happy. Yep. They're like my will buyers of the boys. I just want them to be happy. And they get so close to leaving. They're like, yep, we're just going to do the end of this job and then we're going to go. And then everything's going downhill. And obviously, like now they can't use the super serum anymore, like the temp V, because it's, you know, going to kill him. Where do they go from here?
I have a feeling that Butcher will end up taking the proper V.
Do you think?
Yeah. That's the thing.
Because it could save his life.
Yeah, my whole kind of theory for the remaining seasons of this show is that this season was going to finish with Soldier Boy and Temp V kind of powered Butcher wailing on Homelander, nearly killing him, like getting him to the point they can almost deliver the coup de grace. Butcher's power wears off, like at the exact wrong point. Homelander kills Soldier Boy and then runs for the fucking hills. And then the last thing we saw was going to be like the final kind of part of the episode, like the kind of the post-credit stinger was going to be Butcher shooting up with full power, like full V, and officially becoming a hero. Then next season, well, becoming a soup, he's not going to be a fucking hero. Next season would have been like full soup Butcher versus Homelander, finishing with Homelander dying. And then the final season would be the boys versus Butcher, because Butcher has just completely gone off the rails. And then end the show.
End the show. Yeah, I didn't think about him taking proper V.
Pour some V in your tea.
Put some V in your tea. I saw a post that was like, or a meme, I don't know, where it was like how Americans say a bottle of water, and then he says bottle of water. Just bottle of water. And I was like, yeah, bottle of water. That's what it is.
That is accurate. Bottle of water.
Bottle of water.
The only tea British people like is in a cup. Other than that, it can fuck off.
Made me laugh. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting tired of how useless Starlight is as well.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like, what is her power, and why did she ever use it? Never uses it. Or she has like one moment where she has to build up to use it at the end of every season. It's like, why? You must be super, super, super powerful. You're in the 7. You never do anything.
Spent like 45 minutes charging up one big blast, knocked everyone over. They then immediately stood back up and kicked the shit out of her.
My favourite moment of the whole season, other than did Frenchie and Kimiko get like a dance number?
Yes, there was a very strange. It was Kimiko having a sort of what could have been fantasy moment where there was a very, very strange dance number in a hospital, and I think she was singing as well. It was weird.
Yeah, they're so cute though. They're so cute. They are, yeah. Anyway, was the fight in the house with Soldier Boy, Butcher against Homelander? That was like the best part of the season. It was choreographed really well and was just a really awesome fight. And they were like kicking shit out of him. So to see him get bruised and have to run away was good. It was the best moment of the top moment of the series for me.
Yep, that's fair.
The rest was kind of
It was there. I know it happened, and I know I watched it. And to be honest, that's very much how diabolical is as well. It's like it's an animated anthology series. Each episode is a different animator telling a different story set within the Boys universe.
Okay.
And honestly, I watched them all in about, they're all like 5-10 minutes long. They're all quite short. I watched them all and then completely forgot. Like, honestly, if I gun to my head, if I had to say what one of them was about, I don't think I could. They were just all unendingly forgettable. I think there was one from the Rick and Morty guy that was a bunch of kids killing their parents. But yeah, other than that, I can't remember any of them.
I think I would 100% watch Invincible again.
No, yeah.
Like over watching
For
The
sure.
Boys ever again.
Yeah, like I will probably watch Invincible before when season 2 comes out. I'll watch 1 just to refresh my memory, and then watch season 2.
But I remember it was just cool.
Yeah.
It was just really well done. It was like,
and there's a character that will probably be introduced in season 2. One of my all-time favorite comic book antagonists. Like he's just an irredeemable dickhead. And I love it. Like, hopefully they won't try and kind of make him a bit nicer for this, because he doesn't need to be. He's just an absolute unstoppable dickhead, and I cannot wait. I think they've pretty much nailed the voice cast so far. There's no one that I've been like, oh, that was a bad choice. Why do you pick him? So like, but they need to absolutely nail this particular character, and if they don't, I will be very disappointed, but I'm pretty sure they will. I was really hoping to get Bryan Cranston, because I kind of just want to get Bryan Cranston for everything. Like, he needs to be in the show somewhere. And I think that'd be a good pick.
Yeah, he's got a good voice.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Been rewatching Breaking Bad at the moment. So I started Better Call Saul, but I never finished it because...
Same.
I can't remember why, but I'm going to try again now. I've heard it's nearly finished now, so I might as well. But I'm watching the show. It's like the first season was a bit... Yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as it gets. And then Gus shows up, and it's just amazing. And then he leaves, and it's like robots and Nazis, and I sort of stopped caring. Like, Breaking Bad, one of the best shows ever made, yeah. But Breaking Bad with Gus there is one of the best shows ever made. Breaking Bad either before or after Gus, it's not quite as good.
Yeah, I think when I rewatch it, I always watch it in anticipation of Gus arriving. And then the Gus kind of like big finish with the explosion and that is just like one of the best moments ever with the bell. It's like, you don't get more high tension than that. It's not going, and he's like... and then obviously you get the half... Yeah, it's like, you go, how is he still there? How is he still alive? Oh, damn, it's like that.
Fixing his tie. Oh, so good.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I have to say, the only acceptable case I have for him not showing up in Invincible is if they get him as either Magneto or Doctor Doom in the MCU.
That would be good.
It would be amazing for either of those cases.
Yep. Yeah, so we've done Stranger Things and The Boys. How about Umbrella Academy? Yeah. Like, what's your overall... I was going to write Let's Talk Umbrella Academy, and I wrote Leets, Letes. Let's Talk. And then I forgot the talk, so I just put Letters Umbrella Academy.
Let's... Umbrella Academy.
Have you enjoyed the previous seasons of Umbrella Academy?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good show, mostly because of Klaus, who is hilarious.
Brilliant young actor, yeah.
Season 2 Diego was absolute top quality, as was Lila. Season 5 is a fucking legend and needs his own show. Although, to be fair, Umbrella Academy is 5's show. So
he is the main character, really, yeah.
Yeah. I literally just finished season 3 about an hour or two ago.
Fresh in your mind.
Was that the final season? It kind of seems like it could have been the final season.
No,
And there's a little
no.
bit of a stinger at the end, but
A little bit.
yeah. Unless I missed a part, it's not the biggest cliffhanger in. It's not as big as season 2's cliffhanger.
But we have
or
no
season
idea what's
1's.
happened. What's happened?
Exactly. That's not a cliffhanger. That's what you call an open ending. It's a subtle but distinct difference.
It could be an open ending and like
Yeah.
interpretation, whatever. But no, I want to know. I want to know.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if there is a season, I hope there is a season 4. And if there is a season 4, I will be watching it straight off. But if there isn't a season 4, I wouldn't be that upset. Because I really liked season 3. Some great character moments. Diego was still the boss. Lila was still absolute wife material. I quite liked the Sparrows. They were all right. But yeah, like I was trying to think of a way to describe this season. And I was trying to be as kind of eloquent as I could and put it as, as in-depth as I can.
Yeah.
But for the life of me, I can't think of any better way to describe Umbrella Academy Season 3 than The whole season was just sparrows, hotel, apocalypse, it's over. Fuck, what the hell just happened? What the fuck did I just watch? It was just a bunch of things that all happened and nothing was explained. And then the season was over. Like, I enjoyed it, but it was just like, it was all too much.
Yeah, I was going to say
the
the same
thing. Trying
thing.
to adapt about 3 arcs at once, and it just didn't. They should have focused on one of the stories and told that story, and then done something else later on.
It was very. Here we are, where we ended in the Sparrow Academy.
Yeah.
Let's have a random dance number. Literally sitting there with Sean, and we're both looking at each other, looking at the screen. What is going on? And then it's like, oh, it's in Diego's head. Got it. Great. They were all fantastic. But we're just
so
like,
good.
What is happening? And then I felt like it's always had very good soundtracks. But I felt like even just in the first episode, there were so many songs crammed in directly next to each other that it was throwing off my viewing of the show. Like, I felt it was putting my mind off of the action, because I was like, another song. Okay, like, why? Like, we go from one fight into another fight, and it changes to another song. You can just, like, had some music, like, score music or whatever instead.
Yeah.
That's just a pet peeve. Jack says Sparrow Academy was essentially a narrative tool to revive Ben. Yeah, I agree.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Deus Ex Sparrow. Agreed.
I didn't really like any of the... Well, okay. I like some of the Sparrow Academy's powers, like the Crow Lady.
Yeah.
But
she was awesome.
Was terrible...
we needed way more of her.
But she was a horrible person.
Oh, yeah. Awful. They all were.
But she was badass and... Yeah.
Her whole aesthetic was superb.
Yeah.
Shadow crows that you can see through. Brilliant. Fighting with a freaking walking stick. These are all just top tier. And they did bugger all with it.
Yeah, that was my thing. And then it was just like, oh, their number one is just a strong person too. Like Luther. Okay. And then the weird cube thing. And it's like trying to assess if any of them are nice or good or bad. And then, I think the dad just... I felt like from the beginning, I was like, are we just completely ignoring the fact that I'm pretty sure he revealed he was some kind of alien or whatever in the last season? And they don't mention it at all until obviously the very end. Yeah, I don't know. I love Diego. Diego from the last series, like series 1 and 2, Diego's my absolute favourite. He gets a real raw deal in like both those seasons. Like in season 1, he loses his girlfriend / cop friend person.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, he's the only one kind of still out doing good, fighting apart from Luther, like fighting crime and doing something good with his ability, even if it is like vigilantism and everyone takes the mick out of him. It's like, oh, at least he's doing something. Like
it's very mean.
And then obviously season 2 is like in the asylum with Lila. So yeah, it was nice to see him. I feel like he took a much more he was much more centered on in this series. In season 3, so I enjoyed that.
I was wondering if that's because they saw how much people liked him in season 2, so gave him a bigger part in season 3.
Let's give them more Diego. They seem to like him. He's fantastic. Yeah, he's very natural and very likable, and a great character. I think they handled the Victor storyline really well. I was kind of happy with it, and as you were saying, everything was like snap, 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 snap. There was so much going on. So I haven't read any thoughts online of the Victor story, but it was very quickly done and handled and set aside. Like, that happened, great. Let's, everyone's happy, everyone's good. Diego's line of the whole little conversation with Luther, and he's like, oh, Luther wants to throw you a party to let you know that you're loved. And Victor's like, oh, okay. And he's like, are you loved? And Victor says, yeah, I feel loved. And Diego just says, good, because you are. And they move on. And I'm like, oh, Diego.
that was a really great little scene.
Fantastic little moment. Scene. Really good. And I've never really liked season. I always been a fan of Elliot Page's, right? And really excited for Umbrella Academy when it first came out. Yeah. Never liked Vanya. Yeah. But this season, Victor, great.
Well, I think it's because this season he stopped being a plot device and started actually being a character.
Yeah.
You get a bit in season 2, like the whole thing with Sissy. That was like all the scenes with Vanya and Sissy were all fantastic.
Yeah.
And they really built on that in season 3 and given Victor some actual scenes and a chance to really show off what a great actor he is. Like some really subtle kind of work with the eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like brilliant work.
So I was very happy with this season in terms of all the actors and all the characters. I feel like they got kind of just better material and more stuff to do. But it was a bit messy, especially around the dad, because I feel like they focus too much on, oh, he's a bad dad. And I'm like, but that's not your dad. You're in a universe. You're treating him like your dad. He's not your dad. Like, I just couldn't get over how, like, he's a stranger. He's just a strange man, and there's nothing, like, the Sparrows can be upset with him because it's their dad, but it's not your dad. And, so I feel like they focused way too hard on all that. And no one was like, hey, maybe the old man's plotting something.
Except Klaus, who was just sailing through blithely unaware of anything that was happening around him, as always.
Yeah, Klaus, oh my god, like with the harpoon straight through the chest, and you're just like, what?
That was so funny. That little kid, for the time he was in the show, what a legend. We need to bring him back.
Yeah, really good.
So good.
So, yeah, what but Alison was just on this major decline into crazy evil.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of her whole arc. I just got quite bored of it by about episode 6.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was like, there's just.
I mean, the actress nailed it.
Oh yeah.
The whole descent was brilliantly done, but I really couldn't find even the. I had negative 5 fucks to give for her, which is bizarre because her whole arc through season 2 I was a huge fan of, and I liked the kind of the resolution in the final episode, but getting between like the 7 episodes between the end of the 2nd season and the end of the 3rd season, didn't give a shit. Didn't like her. She felt like she was the baddie in basically every scene she was in.
Yeah, but yes. I mean,
do not care.
Okay, she's selfish, right? Because there's like all this shit happening and all she cares about, she doesn't care about her family. These are her family, her brothers and sisters, brothers who she's grown up with now. And I know that they all had their moments and that, but what, when you was back in the past and you built your new life with Ray, like she would have been happy to stay there. And you know, she's got this life now. Which I get. She's got this life now. She'd lost her daughter. She's got this life now. Then she'd lost both of them. So I understand her pain, but like the others had experienced pain as well. Klaus had been pushed back into time, lost his partner,
the love of his life,
in the war. Do you know what I mean? No one seems to care because Klaus is a mess and no one gives a shit.
Does anyone even know? Has he told anyone, or is he just suffering in silence? I can't remember.
They're all unlikable characters, really, because they're all so self-absorbed. And even at the very end of this season 3, they all go off on their separate ways when they should be joining together. That is a pivotal moment when it's like, let's all stay together and figure out what the fuck is happening. And instead, they all just split off. And Victor's just left standing there like, great. Like, fantastic. Yeah. Jax put, she's the only one who hasn't realised that if the universe keeps changing, people will disappear.
Pretty much, yeah. She's like, I guess in a way she had the most to lose. In season 1, episode 1, she had the most to lose and has continued to lose quite a bit. But she's so caught up in her own losses, she hasn't understood that everyone else has lost, maybe not as much, but they've all lost significant things. They've all lost loved ones. And the only way to stop that shit happening is to pull together, not to be a cunt to everyone.
Yeah, because
she doesn't realise that.
She acts like she's supporting Victor in every way, but Victor's lost his girlfriend as well.
Yeah.
Right, because they're in the future, she's not there anymore. And then when they have Harlan join them...
Loved that scene.
Just, like, so Alison's just... When you're fighting for a world where your loved one, your daughter, is in it, and the way you're trying to get to that, and in your journey to get to that, you kill one of your family members' only close loved ones. Just, no.
Yeah, you lose all sympathy at that point.
Yeah, you're just...
Like, that is the path to being a supervillain, not the path to being a good person.
Yeah, because, like, it wasn't his fault. Like,
no.
He didn't intentionally sort out and kill people. It was just an unfortunate thing that happened. And it's an unfortunate thing that happened only because the Umbrella Academy kids all went back and changed things in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, I know that their main intention from season 1 is to go back and change and save the world, but there's going to be collateral damage. Shit's going to happen. And don't be upset if it happens to you and not someone else.
Yeah.
Just because you're the people doing it. And this is like the whole Avengers thing. We were talking about how selfish they are, going back and like bringing everybody back at the same point of time instead of just putting everything back to how it was 5 years ago, so that Iron Man gets to keep his daughter. And it's like, well, that's a bit selfish because all these other people have lost untold amounts, and now the world's in absolute shit. When you could have just made it 5 years ago, I don't know.
Would have made way more sense.
But
yeah, can we just talk briefly about how freaking amazing Callum Keith Rennie was as the older Harlan? He shows up pretty early on, and he's kind of bothering through listening to tapes of bees, and I was like, okay, like he's a great actor, so he's obviously going to be someone important. And he just turns up and nukes the whole room, like, oh, it's Harlan, like. Great fucking reveal. Somehow that just completely slipped me by, and I freaking loved it.
Yeah, I too was like, who is this? Who is this? But then, oh, okay, that's cool. And I love that it took out the dickheads, the main dickheads of the Sparrows.
Yeah,
like straight
blob
up, just
guy
like,
and gross spit girl.
Yeah, gross spit girl. So yeah, they were wiped straight out, and it was like, good, great.
I'm still not entirely sure what that blob guy's power was. Like, is it just if you hit him, you take that damage?
That's what I assumed. He just reflects your damage, but then I couldn't understand his look.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like when they showed the younger versions of himself, his skin was not as saggy or whatever. He looked like he wasn't at that stage. So I'm like, why does his power seem to have this adverse effect on him or something? I don't know if that's... They don't explain it. They never explain it.
No.
Like, why he looks the way he looks, if that's to do with his power or what. Like, they don't...
Is he made of rubber and just slowly melting?
Oh, that's why things bounce back at you, because he's made of rubber. I don't know. Because it's funny, because in the third My Hero Academia movie, which is not good, but
Which one's the
and
third one?
the third one is the one where they kind of go on a cross-country journey with a new character with a little bird. His name
I
I've
think I've seen that
forgotten.
one.
And the main baddie in it is a guy whose quirk is to reflect. He reflects. So you attack him and you're attacking yourself. So when this came up in Umbrella Academy, I was like, ah. But it's kind of, yeah, I don't know. But they didn't use
Pretty
it.
decent power.
I feel like they killed him really quickly in that way because they were like, we don't know how to keep having fight scenes with this dude. He's gonna get in the
Yeah.
way. Let's just kill him.
And
And
I just love how like, oh, we're going to have him and Diego fight, and then Diego's like, I know the perfect counter to your power. Just ignore the damage you're doing to me because I can apparently take stronger hits than I can dish out. Because fuck you, I'm Diego. I'll kick your ass and just move on with my day.
he is the he's not got the smarts. They make out that he's the dumb one or whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep hitting you. And it's just, but you're hurting yourself. It's like, I don't care. This is the only thing I know how to do.
Yeah.
It's like the Hulk. I only know how to smash. Or in Incredibles 2, there's the Crush guy, and he crushes all the pipes onto Mr. Incredible, and then his brainwashing wears off, and Mr. Incredible's like, can you put these back to normal? And he's like, I crush. I cannot uncrush. And he's like, what? And he says to Mr. Incredible, he's like, do I ask you to unsmash things? Like,
Got a point.
he's got a point. Yeah.
I don't think I saw Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2 is hands down the best superhero movie of the last 10 years. Like, I went to see it after seeing like Infinity War and Endgame. I think it came out after that. Incredibles 2 is like, I enjoyed it so much more.
Wow.
It's just a well put together superhero movie with really good fight scenes, cool characters, a pretty badass bad guy. It's kind of predictable, but it's a kids movie. I forget.
All superhero films are, so.
But it's better than because Incredibles, the first one, is a great film, but it is quite slow. It's quite slow going, and it takes a lot to get into the whole, him on the island with Syndrome and that. So this one's just straight up into the hero action. It's a really good film.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's probably got like a 47 on Rotten Tomatoes or something, but I don't know. I
thought there was a lot of love for The Incredibles.
I mean, I really like it. They're good.
Find out.
They're just really good films. They're really good films. They're more adult aimed, I think, because they're like old. They're reminiscent of old like 50s movies, like spy stuff, and that's what all the music's like.
There's a very Fantastic Four vibe to them as well.
Yeah, Michael Giacchino does the scores. The music's great. The animation's good. The stories are great. It's just good films.
What more can you ask for?
What more?
Have you seen Turning Red?
Yes, I watched it
Love
3
that film.
times on the first week it was out.
Wow. I don't love it
'Cause I
that
watched
much,
it-
but I did.
I watched it with Sean, and I watched it with my parents. Then we watched it with his parents. I was like, we have to watch Turning Red. And she's like, you're so fluffy. It's so good. It's really good.
Great flick, yeah. I enjoyed that
And
a
I
lot more
loved-
than I thought I would.
I was talking to someone earlier. This is about animations and that in general. Luca, I love, like in terms of
Haven't done
Disney
that.
and Pixar. Yeah, I think a lot of people, it kind of went under the radar because it came out on Disney Plus, and then Encanto came out. And I visited Disneyland in Paris after Luca came out, before Encanto was out. And I wanted to get myself some Luca merchandise because I absolutely love it. It's such a great film. And there was nothing. Like, nothing. But they had
Really?
Encanto stuff. Yeah, they had Encanto
No.
stuff. It's not out yet. In every single store. Just whole sections of it. So you know that Disney knew that it was going to be popular with kids. Like, they knew before it was even out. And it's like brainwashing you to like the film before it's even come out yet. Because it has
Although apparently they
songs.
got loads of merch for like the kind of the typical Disney princess sister of the family, and didn't think they'd need any for the big kind of Hulk lady. But then
she
everyone
got a
wanted
lot of
dolls
love.
of the Hulk lady, and no one wanted the little Disney princess chick. And they're like, we screwed up, and that makes me happy.
Now, I've only watched the film once, and sorry, whoops, just readjusting. I've only watched the film once. I wasn't a massive the songs didn't hit me, and I didn't fall in love with them immediately. But my favorite song and number was I don't know any of the names because again I've only watched it once and I didn't find it amazing. But the Muscly Strong Sister, was the best bit. Wasn't my favorite bit. But I felt like the story had no... I felt cheated watching Encanto. Because the trailer made it out like they're going to lose the magic from their house, and the one that hasn't got the powers is going to go on some great adventure and save everyone.
Is that not what it's about?
But they don't leave the house. It all takes place in the house, and there's no adventure. It's more like a family finding of, everybody figuring out how they should be treating each other and stuff.
Nicely.
Which is great.
That saved you 2 hours.
There's good messaging and stuff like that, and it's very pretty. But I just wasn't what I was expecting. And I don't think it has as much substance to it as any of the other, like Moana, and Moana is a fantastic film. Yeah. And I loved Luca. Luca's fantastic. It's not a musical, so I don't think kids grab it as well. Whereas Turning Red, I think, had the best of both because it had songs in, like the boy band songs, but it wasn't a musical. It was it was very good. It was very well done. And it was just hilarious.
I know about it.
It was just one of the funniest films we've seen in a long time.
I was cracking up the whole way through. It's very much a film about fandom, and I feel like right now there's a lot of kind of push for fans to kind of not be as big a dicks as they are occasionally to people, which is a problem. Let's be fair. And I think it was very much, it told a message that needed to be told, and I think that's very good.
Talking about fans being dicks, did you want to move on to your your major topic?
I had a bit of a point to make. Basically, I had a bit of a grim realization. I know you haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to avoid going too deeply into details, but watch Miss Marvel. Loved Miss Marvel. Great show. Strongly recommend if you haven't seen it. It's just a really fun show with some great history. The best dad in Marvel, which is, I know, not a great list, but he's number one with a fucking bullet, leagues above everyone else. But there was a certain amount of controversy surrounding the show. Namely, they've changed their origin, they've changed their powers, they've kind of very much MCU'd all over her. I didn't really care about that. That's when I had a realization that I'm kind of a hypocrite. And based on various discourse I've had with various other Marvel fans on various social media platforms, that seems to be a growing problem in just fandom in general, but specifically in the Marvel fandom. Because I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the reactions to Thor have not been good.
Yeah.
It's what lowest rated audience score on Rotten Tomatoes of any Marvel film. Biggest second week drop in Marvel history, which is hilarious because it comes as right after Doctor Strange 2, which was the previous record holder, but that's... But here's the thing. One of the reasons why I've held off on going to see it for so long is because the Gore Saga, which it's based on, is my all-time favorite Marvel run. I love it. I was on a holiday last week. I read it through again. It is still, in my opinion, a fucking masterpiece. So when I hear they're making changes, naturally, I'm not okay with that. So I was talking to this guy on, I think it's like thing on Facebook, saying, don't fuck with it. Oh, but it's a light-hearted comedy. Take it for what it is. I'm like, no, it's not. There's nothing funny about that plot line. If you want to make a comedy, if you want to make a Thor film that's a comedy, you have a lot of ground. There are some goofy fucking villains in Thor. make that film. I'm sure it'll be decent. If you want to make a film based on the Gore saga, don't make it a comedy. And I was rambling on for fucking hours about this. And then I logged off Facebook, logged onto Reddit because I have no life. All I have is social media. And I saw someone complaining about Miss Marvel and how they've changed her origin. And I was like, well, yeah, but I mean, if it's not a huge change. And that's when it hit me. I was basically saying, no, the change I care about is bad and you shouldn't do. But that change I don't really give a shit about. Yeah, that's fine. You can get away with that.
Yeah.
No. Either things need to stick to how they are in the comics, or you're free to change anything to suit the tone of whatever it is you're trying to make.
Yeah.
And I see this quite a bit, and I'm absolutely, I do this all the time, and I'm really going to try to stop. But people either need to accept that the MCU is a universe to itself, and that things are going to change because they already have quite substantially, or like we either need to accept it's changing or make nothing change. We can't be like, oh yeah, change the things I'm okay with changing, but don't change the things that I like because they're things I like, so they have to stay the same. Like that's not a good, that's not a hill you want to die on, because there's no foundation to that argument. You're going to lose. Either you're okay with change or you're not. You can't have it both ways. And I was trying to have it both ways, but I'm now going to stop because basically they've already ruined all the comic runs I care about. So what else can go wrong?
What else can go wrong?
Well,
I think I've always said, trying to think of a strong instance where something's not as the source material and it like angered me, or vice versa, I was okay with it.
I know a lot of people were mad about Civil War.
I mean, for me, generally, as long as the end product is good, you're getting it's new media, right? As long as it's good.
I think that's probably my big complaints with Love and Thunder. It's like, if you're going to make that film a comedy, at least nail it. Like if it had been a really good, funny film, that would have been okay. But from all accounts, it's not even particularly funny. It's not particularly well written. Like no one makes a film about your best friend and former lover dying of cancer and makes it a comedy. Don't do that. That's a bad fucking idea. But he did it, and now he's apparently stepping away from Marvel. Thank fuck.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Why?
But he is moving to Star Wars now, which, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah. I'm guessing comedy.
It will be, kooky comedy.
Yeah.
We'll see. We shall see.
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence.
But yeah, so that was my little soapbox moment. I just had to. 90% of that was directed at myself, but I'm sure there's probably people out there that also.
Stop being such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also the trouble of being like too critical, just in general.
Yes.
Which I think I could forgive people, because I know I am more critical myself in the last 10 years of things. I don't go around trash talking things and like trying to bring others down if they like something, which I think happens a lot. Like
it does, and it needs to fucking stop.
That's fine. If you like it, go for it. But
like, if you want to see the absolute nadir of human existence, go on to Twitter, full stop. But if you need to dig a few levels deeper, go onto Twitter and just spend 5 minutes reading tweets about Star Wars, and you will hate humanity.
Yeah, I was going to say
the
Star Wars.
The clash between like OG trilogy fans, prequel trilogy fans, and sequel trilogy fans is just the most fucking toxic, poisonous dialogue that exists on the internet today. It's genuinely awful. It's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in myself, I'm a little bit more critical, only because I find that a lot of the new content that I watch in the last however many years, I've been disappointed with, and there's very few things that I've kind of picked up and really loved, other than animes. And then, because they're just best. Yeah, animation, movies, and anime have been like the most successful for me in watching new content and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Live action movies has been kind of a disappointment in the most, like, in terms of the stuff that I consume. I've been more disappointed with like live action movies than any other kind of
yeah, that's fair.
media that I watch. I don't know. I don't know why it's so hard for people to make a good film nowadays.
I think it's because it's hard for Hollywood to make a good film these days, because films have become so expensive that they have to make massive like box office weekends in order to recoup that money, and they can't do that if you're taking risks.
Yeah, I think. You see, at the same time, I prefer low budget films.
Yeah,
like
because they're more open to
stuff.
like doing things. They're not as hemmed in.
You can spend the large majority of your budget for a small budget film on some good talent, and as long as you've got a wicked awesome script and an idea, you can make a great film with hardly any money. Did you? I probably mentioned it. Peanut Butter Falcon.
You did, and I didn't see. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Fantastic film.
Yeah.
Couple of biggish named actors, and the rest was pretty low budget, easy to film stuff. It's like great, because it has a good story and it has good characters.
That's what you freaking need.
That is what you need.
Yeah.
Jack said, liking Star Wars is fine. Replacing your personality with Star Wars is not.
Yes,
Jack,
very true.
2022.
100%. Yeah, you're a very accurate man there, Jack. But yeah, sadly, a lot of people do that, and it's quite worrying. They do it with a lot of things as well. I mean, I don't want to poke a beehive, but Scientologists they're almost as bad as hardcore Star Wars fans in that regard. Like anyone that obsesses that much over like a single humor, fucking Harry Potter fans, they're another one. Like I'm a pretty huge Potterhead myself, but there are some people who really desperately need to read another book. Holy shit.
It's funny you say that, because Jack watches a guy like review wands and stuff who happens to have a wall behind him that's just filled with every edition of Harry Potter like known to man. And Jack puts him on just so he can see the new wand that's come out, and then goes, oh, you see that? That is all he is. that right there, that is that person. That is everything. And he's like,
I don't think I've ever been that obsessed by like a single universe.
Yeah, like I love a lot of things, and I love them to a vast degree a lot of the time. Yeah. Jack himself loves Harry Potter. We go to the Harry Potter studios once a year probably. He'll buy us some merchandise and spend way too much money, but it's not like who we are.
Yeah.
I can have a conversation and meet someone and talk to them about things without having to bring up my love for anime.
Exactly.
Like, after I know someone for a while, it's going to come up, but it's not like my thing. But
I mean, if it's something you're really passionate about, do talk about it to other people. Like, that's great, because especially if it's something like anime or comics or video games that are getting hugely popular, like they will probably like it too. You've made a friend. Awesome. But at the end of the day, you need something else to talk about as well. You can't make Star Wars your whole life. Like, I hate to break it to you, everyone out there, but Hogwarts isn't real. You're 30. You don't need to keep telling me what your house would be.
And the main risk is when you get like too absorbed in it, when anything is bad, if they bring out a Harry Potter movie and it's garbage, you have two routes, right? You either are crushed because it's so bad and you're like down, or you still, even if deep down you know it's bad, you still wholeheartedly defend it because it's all you are, and it's like, it can't be bad, it's Harry Potter, and that's like the only options you have. It's like sorry, like watching a TV show for years and you're like, love it so much, and then it's really bad.
Game of Thrones
has a terrible ending. And yeah, if you've like fully invested everything of your being into it, you're gonna be crushed. It's like it's harsh. It's a harsh world, man.
It is. Yeah, this actually reminds me of another very strange interaction I had with a friend on social media. It's a very bizarre mindset that I've seen, and it's becoming more popular, and it worries me. It was, of course, about Star Wars.
Right.
Someone was talking about how the prequel era is garbage, and it's all Kathleen Kennedy's fault, and she needs to be fired and never work in TV again. And like, everything she puts her hand on is garbage, and she needs to, be hung, drawn, and quartered. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, what about Bad Batch? What about Kenobi? What about Mando? Like, oh, she wasn't involved in there. Mando was, Dave Filoni. He's like, dude, you don't get to just blame the things you don't like on her and then say someone else was responsible for the things you liked. That's not the way it works. She is the producer. She has just as much influence on Mando as she does on Rise of Skywalker. You can't blame one on her and then give the other one to someone else to be their thing. Like, yeah, we get it. Obviously, Mando is Jon Favreau. He's like, he's the man on that show, and he's a fucking legend. Such a boss. But you don't get to be like, oh yeah, Mando's fine because of Jon Favreau, while Kenobi is bad because that was done by Deborah Chow, and that's Kathleen Kennedy's fault. Like, no, it's not. She has just as much influence on anything in the universe. Like, that's not the way TV works. If you're going to make complaints about that, please understand it before you do. You moron.
Just hypocritical stuff again.
Yes, exactly. People need to quit that shit. Quit the crit, please.
Quit the crit. Yeah, talking of last time we talked, I was going to mention the fact that we'd played Shredder's Revenge, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
How is it?
It was Streets of Rage with turtles. It was an enjoyable couple hours. We played through it all in one go because it's not like, I think it was 2 or 3 hours. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was alright. Yeah, there's a couple of bits where like we kept dying, and we're like, why? Come on, this shouldn't be happening. But we got past it and we completed the game, and yeah, it was for a non-expensive small game. It was worth it, and we played it all 4 players. But I'll probably play it again with just like one other person to play it. But
which turtle are you?
I was Raphael, maybe.
Wrong. Who was Donatello?
I can't even remember. Jack. I played with Jack. I don't know if he's still there, but I don't know who we were.
Whoever was Donatello, they chose correctly. Everyone else.
What colour is Donatello?
Purple.
Purple.
With the big stick.
And what does he have? The stick.
Yeah.
Because Jack was April. Connor was Splinter. Oh yeah, so it's only me and Rob that played as turtles.
Oh, okay.
Rob's put.
I don't know why. I just
the
kind of
sword guy
assumed you'd
blue.
all be playing as the turtles. Yeah. I didn't
Michelangelo is blue.
No, Leonardo is blue.
Oh, Leonardo is blue.
Donatello is purple. Michelangelo is red, and the guy whose name I'm temporarily blanking on is
Raphael
orange.
is red. No.
I thought Raphael was blue. No, Leonardo's blue.
Yeah. See, this is my thing, because I like red, so I always went for Raphael. But then I don't particularly, because he has the little like Electro blades. And I was like, not really big into that, but red is best. And he was always the most kind of badass, coolest one in like the movies I liked.
Yeah.
He was just the coolest one. So I think I played as Raphael.
That's cool.
I'm trying to see if I had any clips on my channel of it, but I can't see in a second.
Oh well.
But yeah, it was worth playing. It was good.
Been a bit of a gaming funk recently. Haven't been able to find anything I could really kind of like. I had a sudden, bizarre, inexplicable desire to play Final Fantasy 12 again.
I saw your
Yeah.
mini review after.
I've tried so many times to like that game, and every time I get like 90% of the way through, and then the ending is just so dumb it puts me off. Like,
right, yeah.
The combat system in that game is trash. Just no one will ever convince me it's not. But like, maybe if the story's good, it'll be interesting. But the story's terrible too. There's nothing redeeming about that game. I rage quit that because it's terrible. Then I kind of was like, don't really know. Like, there's nothing really. There's a few games coming out that look quite good, but there's nothing that's out now that I really particularly want to play. And it's like, it's in this bizarre kind of holding pattern, waiting for something good to be released. So maybe I'll check out the Turtles, but
It it is what it is. It's like a Streets of Rage fight, and it's nothing special, but it was alright. Oh, the only annoying thing about it was they constantly saying their like little saying.
no.
Like constantly every time we use your special, and it's like I can't remember what they each said, but it was highly frustrating because it was just constant everyone's little catchphrase the whole way through.
Yeah, that's gonna be really funny for the first sort of stage, and then it just gets very old.
So Rob's put that the Gambit system in Final Fantasy 12 is a pain, but the game is great. But this is Rob who played it for a little bit, put the game down for like what felt like years, and then went back and actually completed it. And then he's put that right now everyone's playing Stray, which is the cat, right?
Yes. Yeah, that does look real. I may have to. That's PS4, isn't it?
I imagine it is PS4,
I may have to pick that
PS5,
up.
and PC.
Yeah, that does look quite good.
It's just different, isn't it? It's like a new.
Well, and I've heard that for every time you buy a copy of Stray, they give a bunch of money to a cat charity. So I'm doing good by playing it.
You're doing great by playing it. It's helping cats. Yeah, I think
My
that's
big
kind
problem.
of... Go on.
My big problem with the Gambit system is that it's the only combat system in a Final Fantasy game, as far as I can remember, where the better you are at it, the less you actually play the combat.
Right. Okay.
Like you set everyone up with these little kind of macros, and then you just walk up to the fight, and it just does it all. Like every fight was just you heal, you cast Berserk on yourself, and just murder everyone, and then you cast whatever element they're weak against. Done. Every fight is over. That's it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't watched. Talking of games, I got Cuphead, and I don't know why, because I'm not good at games, and first-person shooters I'm fine at. Cuphead, yeah, terrible, and I get frustrated really quickly, so I know that I get frustrated, and then I quit. Since being a kid playing platformers, like Looney Tunes and
fucking Lion King on the Genesis.
Lion King.
Evil game.
So I did like the first little bit of Cuphead, and then I'm like, this is too hard for me. I'm not going to play. But there's like the TV show that I've still not watched, and I don't know. I don't know how they got received.
Speaking of people that make their fandom their whole life, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, I'm in a bit of a sort of gaming trough. I need new games. Like, I kind of want to like ARPGs generally are my thing. Any game where I can just make myself invincible and then just laugh as everything bounces off me, I'm happy with. That's my happy place. And he's like, just why don't you play Dark Souls? Like, no, that's the exact opposite of Dark Souls. Like, yeah, like, people that really love those kind of Soulsborne games tend to like just make it their entire existence, and I don't understand why. You get it. You're really great at a difficult game. That's awesome, but it just sounds like torture to me. So please stop suggesting it. Very bizarre.
Yeah, it is a tricky thing. also enjoy games where I'm not really ever at threat of losing or dying. Even in first-person shooters, it's like, if I'm going to keep just getting one shot in the head and dying, why am I even playing? Where's the fun? So, a game, Halo and then Gears of War is even more fun because you can, like, just run into a load of enemies and chainsaw them, and you can... I die a lot because I do that.
Gears of War.
And Robert's like, she's down again. I need to go pick her up. And I'm like, it's fun just running in with a chainsaw, Just
What's the exploding bow in that game?
Like, what's it called?
Yeah. The talk bow.
I was going to say, is it just talk bow, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Loved that thing. I spent way too much. For some bizarre reason, me and my friend Matt became briefly obsessed with the Gears of War franchise. We played through all of them. And yeah, I spent entirely too much time blowing shit up with the talk bow. It's way too much fun.
Do you know what? I feel like it went into a bit of a dip. Gears of War 3 was a bit, not boring, but it just felt very samey. But the last couple, I don't even know what number we're up to now, 4, 5, 6. But the last couple that we played were really good. And especially the last one, the story, we're up to 5. The last one, 5 we played. Really good. Enjoyed the story, the new characters. It was like a cinematic experience.
Always a good thing.
When it's as good, because I really can't deal with too much talking and too much story, and like if it's not amazing, like I don't want to. What are they playing? Oh, Robert and Sean were both playing Lost in Random when it come out.
Let's skip that one.
And there was so much talking. Every time I saw them playing, they weren't playing. They were just sitting, reading. I'm kind of like, I'm all for a good story. Like Final Fantasy has a lot of a lot of reading. A lot of story. But there's a line where I'm just like, I kind of want to play the game.
Yeah, I still remember the point when we realised we'd reached peak fuckery in that was, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 4, I want to say.
Right.
I was watching my brother play it. 2 hour, literally, I think it was a 90-minute cutscene, which is not a cutscene, that's a movie. The game starts again, Snake's shimmied up underneath the truck. All right, crawl out from under the truck. Okay, I'm out from under the truck. What do I do now? 90-minute cutscene. 90-minute cutscene, 10 seconds of gameplay, 90-minute cutscene. That's 2 movies. That's not a video game.
That's not a game.
Fuck out.
Yeah, I like
great cutscenes though, to be fair.
Yeah, I like games. I said before, didn't I? Devil May Cry, the DMC one. Like, I can enjoy watching someone play because you get the story at a nice flow, and the cutscenes are a good amount, and it just fits nicely. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I was playing, and the cutscenes were long, and I was just bored as hell. I don't know. I get quite. I have a good attention span for things that demand my attention.
Yeah.
I can watch loads of, like I say, if the story's really good and I'm reading it all and getting it all in, that's fine. But sometimes I just get bored very quickly. So a game like Gears of War, where I'm just smashing my way through it, and I know that people are like, oh, it's just the same thing again. Like with Halo, it's just the same thing again. It's like, yeah, well, all first-person shooters are the same, but like, if they grab your attention, they're obviously not. It's not a bad thing.
No, it's like Dynasty Warriors. It's been the same freaking pattern for like 50 years now, and it's still fucking amazing.
When you said I like games where you just put yourself at a peak and then you just bash your way through, my first thing I thought was Dynasty Warriors. The days playing Dynasty Warriors with Robert, and you're just going through slashing and killing like all these people, and you're just working your way from one place to another, and there's not really any skill, and it's not hard, but you enjoy it anyway. Great games.
Yeah. Great games. Do not pursue Lubu. Classic.
The game we're
Although
waiting
I've
for...
got to say, Samurai Warriors 5 came out quite recently, and I was a little bit disappointed in it. Because they've redone the whole system. It's got a whole new art style. It's all quite kind of... it's meant to look like kind of like a painting. It's all very kind of watercolor, but they've drastically cut the roster down. There's like 20 playable characters or something. I was like, okay, that's not great, but it's acceptable. The problem is there's like, I think it's 21 characters and like 5 weapon sets between them. All they always in clone moves. Like, fuck off. If you're going to cut it down from like 80 to 20 characters, at least give them all their own goddamn moves. Like, that's cheap as shit. Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah. Still better than Dynasty Warriors 9, so what are you going to do?
I mean, you know, there's only so much Dynasty Warriors one can take. But they're fun. What else? I don't think I've really played anything recently.
Have you seen Midnight Suns? The new Marvel game coming out.
No.
Looks pretty decent. It's done by Firaxis. Have you played XCOM?
Yes, briefly.
It's basically Marvel XCOM, but
right, okay.
For reasons known only to Firaxis, they decided to put in a card mechanic.
I don't enjoy that.
Yeah, you pick your sort of team of 4 heroes, and then you draw cards, and that is how you play. Which, no, that slightly put me off. But it does look quite cool, and you do get to like customize your main hero. It's called the Hunter, I think. So I'm still gonna play it because it does look good, but I am a little bit worried that it's gonna suck.
Robert's just put, by the way, don't play your Switch if the temp is 36 degrees plus, because the shell breaks. I did play it on Tuesday. Tuesday night, I played it. It was obviously hot. Well, I don't think it was that hot. I'm not sure. And it's been in the case ever since, so hopefully it's okay.
Fingers crossed.
I
don't actually own a Switch, which I kind of want to change because they've put KOTOR 1 and 2 on the Switch, but they've put for KOTOR 2, it's got the full restored the restored content mod for Sith Lords. Like apparently it's like a new ending and shit. So I may have to like borrow someone's Switch and get that because I freaking love a bit of KOTOR. Such a good game.
I mean, if you can get a Switch, like the handheld one, for like 120 quid or something. Like a Switch Lite.
Yeah. I always thought they should have called they've got the Switch, which is the middle one, and then made the little handheld one. And they should have made like a premium one and called them the Switch, the Dom, and the Sub.
It is funny that they've made a handheld one, but they haven't made one that's like permanently docked.
Yeah, with like slightly boost the processing capacity, the processing speed, and like tweak the graphics a bit so it looks a bit nicer, and it's always in the little box. But
I mean, I love my Switch. It's not too big to take out with you. It's got a lovely size screen. Well, I've got the Switch OLED, so it's got an even lovelier size screen. And I like the whole docking thing to play it. And I've got my Switch Pro control, which it's honestly, I love it. I can't see myself ever needing another console ever. Like
when I was on holiday, I think my sister was there, and she had the Switch Lite. She was playing and horrifically failing at Zelda. It was quite funny, but it's a solid little console. I could see why it's as successful as it is.
And they're just so cheap.
It's always kind of passed me by. All of Nintendo has, to be honest. I had a Game Boy, the OG one.
Yeah.
But after that, it never really clicked with me.
Well, we've kind of had every console ever made. Like my brother, anyway, and if it's in the household, then everyone can play it. But
that's the rule.
Yeah, I remember we first got like our Game Boy Advances. Like my brother had a Game Boy that I would play, but I was too young to kind of have my own console at that point. And then we both got Game Boy Advances, like the purple see-through ones. Yeah, the see-through ones.
We need more see-through tech. That's awesome.
Yes, Rob and I are always saying this. How cool. Because you can get your own Switch cases, that I like the see-through. But it's like, I don't want to mod my Switch. I don't want to touch it. So, but why don't they make it like that anymore? They're so cool. So we had the see-through Game Boy Advances. They were great. And then we had the DS when the DS first came out. I've got the pink one. My brother's got the silver one. I only got the pink one. I never liked pink. I only got it because it came with the Dash and or Dash Out, whatever they're called, Nintendogs. And then when I got it, I chose the Husky anyway.
Because why wouldn't you?
It was an option, and it looked way cuter, so I was like, I'm gonna get that. And then what was after that? So we had the Wii, we had the Wii U. I mean, we've had the N64, GameCube, SNES. The only thing we never owned when it was out, because it would have been too early, was the NES. So we never had a NES. But we've had like every other generation. We have the PS1, we've had PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, and then Xbox, 360, One, whatever it is now, just Xbox again. But yeah, that's it. The only actual console we never owned was a Dreamcast. That's because my friend had one. And I think, you have like friends that have one. It's like, we don't really need it. We played the one game and we played whatever.
Yeah.
But we do have one now because I bought one in a charity shop for like 20 quid.
Why the hell not? It had some great games. I was a big fan of the Dreamcast.
It was the whole
and the Saturn.
Time Crisis. It had the gun, didn't it? So it had like Time Crisis, House of the Dead, and then it was the Sonic game, awesome. And you had your little chows. Yeah, on the little memory cards with the screen.
Yeah, they were awesome.
It was cool. I quite liked the control. It was a good console.
Yeah. And it was my first foray into the untamed wilds of the internet. It was through a Dreamcast. Which was... Yeah, that's how old I am. But yeah, that was bad. The browser on the Dreamcast was just atrocious because you were trying to type with a freaking like gamepad. It was terrible. But yeah, it was the internet, so who cares? I just downloaded loads of guides for all the games I was playing.
Oh, Rob's put that he played Phantasy Star Online like on his mate's Dreamcast. But yeah, internet. Because we had Phantasy Star Online, Rob had it on the GameCube. We never played it online. And I wouldn't want to because it's fine as it is. I don't enjoy games where there's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
Whom I don't know. And this is my thing with Dark Souls. I walk in and Rob's playing Dark Souls, and people can just drop into your game and try to kill you.
Which they will do because they're dickheads.
And I'm like, why? Why can't you play this game without that function? Or can you? I don't know. Because that would piss me royally off.
Same. I mean, I'm bad enough for those games as is. If I'm like just about to beat some boss finally and some twat shows up and kills me, I would just burn my flat down.
This brings us back to the original point that I was going to make with Dark Souls of, it's too hard. I'm not a fan of like... I want to sit and enjoy playing a game. I want it to be fun. And it's just a thing for me to chill and I'm playing a game.
Absolutely.
I don't want it to be something that I'm working so hard at to just try and get to the next bit because it's like... Rob reckons, I bet you could beat it. I don't care. I don't want to.
That's not the point.
It's going to take a lot of work. And I want the game to relax.
Exactly. Like, I used to be a hardcore World of Warcraft player. Like, I was main tank, raid leader. I cleared all the fucking contents. And it took me goddamn, 12 hours a fucking day for about 8 years. I don't have the time anymore. I just want to go on and be an immortal god king that murders anyone that has the audacity to approach me. And then save and turn the fuck off and, watch Invincible.
Watch Invincible. Yeah, I'm gonna get Baldur's Gate 2 when they're putting it on the Switch.
I think it's just come out.
Oh, it has come out now. I remember it coming out. On the Switch. I put it in my calendar, and then it never came out on the date it was supposed to. And now I've just kind of lost track because I don't want to get excited and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, Baldur's Gate 2 I had back in day, and I remember Drist was a playable character, and I played him quite a bit, and I had no idea he was anything more than a video game character from the 90s. And then suddenly it's like, oh shit, there's books about him, and they're all terrible, but everyone still seems to love him. What the hell? Yeah, not a Drist fan.
Rob's put it out. It did come out. Well, we need to play it then, because we had it on the original Xbox. We had Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. Dark Alliance, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Great games.
Yeah.
I like a game where you share a screen because they can't split you up.
Yeah. But it also means you have to share loot, which is bad.
I don't mind because I never know what to buy and what to do with it anyway. I'm always like, as long as you can hand things over, I'm like, Rob, what do I do? What should I equip? What should I do with this weapon? What do I need? I don't know what I'm doing. I enjoy playing games, but I need Robert to guide me in every which way. Oh yeah, our favourite quote is, I can't do that here. I cannot do that here.
Have you played Kingdom of Amalur? If anyone in the chat has played as well, feel free to chime in.
Anyone in the chat. What is it good?
It's great. It was an RPG, kind of ARPG, kind of very sort of Baldur's Gate style from, I want to say, late PS2 era, I think, possibly kind of early PS3 era. But they've just re-released it as Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning, which is a terrible name. But yeah, it was weirdly good because it was very kind of, it was clearly meant to be an MMO but got cancelled, so they made it a single player game. And like you were just this guy, and there was like, yeah, here's like 4 different skill trees, and you can put whatever you want into any of them. Like one was for melee stuff, one was for range, one was magic. So you could really kind of just build your character however you wanted. But the problem was the last few talents in all the various trees were all so bonkers fucking OP that if you didn't spec down into them, the whole game was just a chore. So yeah, you can do whatever you want, but if you want to actually complete the game, you're going to want to do one of these 3 things, which kind of killed the replayability. But it was a fun game.
Rob said that he got the re-release a couple months back and he went with daggers.
Solid call. Yeah, I think I was a big sword guy because, as previously stated, I tried to make myself immortal. But I do seem to recall daggers being pretty OP.
So Jack and Rob both play like lots and lots and lots of games. But Jack introduced us to a game called Vampire Hunters? Survivors, I think. Which is like a small game. It's all pixelated. It's all like you're a character and you walk around a screen and loads of things attack you and you build your skills and it's just had another update and Rob's going to be playing it after this apparently. Right, so it's a really simple game and you have to survive the level for half an hour and that's how you complete that level. But you just keep playing that level. Like that's all there is. There's like the 3 levels. Okay. But you play it as the different characters and you get achievements once you've like played it as all the characters and you've become, the best at this, like leveled that up all the way, or you can level up as many things as you can. If you do it strategically and you collect them all in the right way, you can end up with like 8 things at full power and you're like unstoppable. And I'm like, that's stupid. There's nothing, you're just there. This is easy, surely. And then I started playing it. I had a go. And it's like, oh god, I need to make it to 30 minutes. And then you do it, and then you're like, oh yeah, cool, let's try another level. And before you know it, you've sunk like 4 hours into a game. Because you think, oh, I'll just do one more level. Not realising that, that one more level is like over 30 minutes. Because every time you pick something up and you open a chest, it like pauses and you get the chest. So you're actually like probably 35, 40 minutes for each level. And you just you end up sinking hours into it without even knowing. And it is actually very good. It is enjoyable.
It does sound good. You're going to have to send me a link to that so I can check it out.
Yeah, and it's like really cheap. It was like £2.50 or something ridiculous.
Nice.
And the guy that created it just updates it all the time.
Always
good. So you can keep playing like new characters and stuff. yeah, there's that. And then a couple years ago, my friend Jack's like, oh, I'm playing a jet washing game. Like a power washing game.
Okay.
I'm like, excuse me, what do you mean a power washing simulator? Wait, hang on. You're playing a game where you're pretending you're playing a simulator where you're washing cars and stuff. Oh, not just cars. You're washing all kinds of things. Yeah, and you can get all the different attachments for the head and yeah, great game, great game. I'm just sitting there like, are you actually shitting me? He's like, no, I've sunk like 50 hours into it. He's like, it's really therapeutic. I'm like, okay. And then I go around, I gave it a little go, and I'm like, yeah, this is just a chore. It's a chore. Only it's not in real life, but like, this is, no, I can't be that, no. And then I go around my brother's the other day, he's only sitting there playing it. Or he said to me, I've got the jet washing, power washing game. I'm like, shut up. He's like, yeah, look, do you want to help me finish off cleaning this helicopter? I'm like, oh god, yeah, I guess so. But it's just a chore. I don't find it enjoyable, but some streamer's been playing it, and Rob saw, and he's like, I'll give that a go. And it was only like a couple quid, or oh no, it's free on Game Pass, so he's been playing it.
Free, who gives a shit? Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's free, who gives a shit? It's just it's like if you're just watching a stream or you're doing something, you can just be playing it at the same time. It doesn't take concentration. It's just like something to do. I don't know, but they are the kind of people that consume like 4 bits of media at once. Whereas I'm like, I do one thing at a time. I'm either playing a game or I'm watching a video. But they're like playing a game, watching a video, and listening to somebody streaming a different game whilst playing that game. Or like my brother can play a game, play one game, whilst he's on like chat to his friend who's playing Dark Souls. And his friend will be asking him questions about Dark Souls. And while my brother's playing a completely different game, he's telling him exactly what to do at that point on that game, because he remembers every moment of that game.
Wow.
And he can like talk him through it whilst he's playing a different game. Yeah.
That is oddly terrifying.
Yeah, they're both like it. I was playing Resident Evil 8, and like I'm a scaredy cat. So they're just like laughing at me. It was like the first thing I streamed last Halloween. But they remember like everything. I'm like, where do I go now? They're like, oh, you want to go around that corner? There's a chest. There's a thing you can pick up there, and they like replay games a lot, so they just know everything. But I'm not like that at all.
Yeah, me either. I think the most extreme I get is I've been playing Diablo 2 because they did Resurrected, which still a great fucking game. I've been playing that in the evenings while listening to an audiobook. And even then, sometimes like if I get a particularly interesting piece of loot, I'll be like, oh shit, I just missed what he said because I was too busy comparing stats on my new sword. But yeah, I think any more than that, I'd completely lose the plot.
Should we talk about some anime and stuff briefly?
Oh yes, there's some good freaking manga this week.
Yeah, in terms of new chapters, actually this week we got the Dragon Ball Super chapter for the month, which was good. It felt shorter than the last couple, but I think that's because it was a lot of fighting, so it's just kind of, you
burn through those chapters quite quickly. Yeah.
Yay, pictures, like.
And then he punched him, and again,
and then he punched him, and again.
And then he shouted a bit.
But it was good. It was good. I feel like we're rounding up to the end. Well, it's either gonna something's gonna happen. Big thing's gonna happen. It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Jazz hands. Okay, cool. No One Piece again this week, which sucks. It's been none for like a fucking month now.
No One
Hurry
Piece
up,
for
Oda.
you.
Fucking love that series.
Are you, in terms of stuff that we're both reading, is My Hero Academia?
Oh yes, great chapter this week.
We can talk about I'm going to put the spoiler. My Hero Academia manga spoilers. Up to date. Robert hasn't read up to date, or he may have, but if you haven't, Rob, and you don't want to get spoiled, run away. He doesn't really mind, I don't think. Like I say, he watches it and he reads it and he enjoys it, but it's not like massively his thing. It's not.
To be fair, I don't think anything particularly spoilery has happened in about the last 6. Oh wait, no, that's a complete lie. Some big shit.
It's a complete lie.
Yeah, sorry. You know what? Just absolutely strike that from the record. That is absolute bullshit. This last arc has been freaking insane. It's been completely blowing up. There's actually been 4 or 5 pretty huge things.
He has read it, so we'll have at it. But
I'll crack on then. Yeah.
okay, so
Where to freaking begin, man?
That's what I'm saying. So this last the last two, I guess, kind of like are really combined.
Yeah.
But now it's like
that
Bakugo.
Endeavor fight, man.
The Endeavor. So our big fight with obviously we had Shadow Dude and Ear Jack Girl and
Ear Waifu.
with All For One, Hawk and Endeavor. Yeah, so we had that whole moment. That was all badass. We had the crazy All For One face at the end of that, where we're like, what's happening with All For One? And then on this new chapter, they had the Shonen Jump Weekly cover art with Deku and All For One. And All For One's like, hey, he just looks normal. And it's like,
worrying.
Yeah, worrying. Okay, so that, first of all, loved that cover art. Loved the big red double cover for because it's the 8th anniversary. And yeah, but I'm worried that lots of people are going to look at that, because it's like anime watchers are going to look at that.
It's packed full of spoilers.
And it's packed full of spoilers. But yeah, love it. And now we're all worried about Bakugo.
Yeah. He's in a bit of a dodgy spot.
Had his arm a little bit destroyed.
Just a touch, yeah. Not so much you'd notice, just enough that he's kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's kind of like
painful.
It did indeed. And then I feel like, to put salt in the wounds, it's like, oh, by the way, the only reason I've ever been even remotely interested in you, Bakugo, is because you're Midoriya, like, you're close to Midoriya, you're his friend. And it's like, dude, like, you're either...
That was properly savage.
You're either going to completely broken him now and he ain't getting back up, or he's about to go, I don't know. But he's like, that was all he had. He doesn't have anything more to give. And it's like, he realizes that he's at this level, and the level where Shigaraki is he knows that's the level where Deku is as well. So he's like, shit. Yeah.
But I've got to say, when I read that panel, I had two major thoughts cross my mind. The first was, holy shit, you fucking savage. That is a brutal thing to say. But then when the initial savagery wore off, I couldn't help but think, was that Shigaraki talking to Bakugo? Or was that Hirokoshi talking to all the obsessive Bakugo fans who act like he is somehow the main character, when we all know he's just the rival? Like, he is not the fucking deuteragonist. Please stop calling him that. There are very, very few series that have legitimate deuteragonists. This is not one of them. He's just the main character's rival. He is not the second lead. He's probably not even, like, third or fourth.
I can understand that, like, from the second movie, they, like, join together, and then the whole storyline is going towards them being friends and being together, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to work together in the future, they're going to be buddies, they're going to, like, be heroes together. And I like that, and I like that this, for me, this is one of those shows where I'm like, I want everybody to have their moment.
Absolutely.
You know, I want all the characters to get a space to shine. But Deku is the main character.
Yeah.
And this is the story about how he becomes the number one hero. That's what it is.
At the end of the day, he is going to be like, it's Bakugo is doing great against Shigaraki. Yeah, he just got his arm fucked up, but he'll recover. It's fine. Like, he'll do well in that fight, but he's not going to be the one to land the killing blow. It's just not going to happen. He's going to maybe soften him up a bit and then get knocked out, and then Dekugo's going to fucking one for all in and get the win.
Yeah.
Like,
he is the perfect
the way it is.
Vegeta to Deku's Goku. Yeah,
exactly.
Dragon Ball Super's getting too much hate on the whole. Like we said, Goku's the main character and Vegeta's a supporting character. And while he has had, he has come up in the ranks since first appearing, and he is the main character, he's really there to make sure that Goku wins the fight. And he's been playing a more and more pivotal role as the arcs go on, a more and more pivotal role in being more important to Goku's victory, which is great. He's not just getting his ass kicked and then Goku's coming along. And I feel like that would be the same thing with Bakugo. Bakugo will play an important role, even if it is just emotionally supporting Deku when he gets there. Do you know what I mean? Like, because Deku's going to have to kill someone and he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And he's going to need that push. When Bakugo's like attacking people shouting die, Deku needs that in this final moment of the fight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to hurt Shigaraki and he doesn't want to take him out. And yeah,
But
so he needs that. He has to. So
really
yeah, we're happy with what's happening. Oh, and obviously the biggest moment is the return of the big three from year 3. Because we have not seen them fight all together, and in the overhaul arc, Nijiro's not had hardly any kind of time to shine. Nijiro?
That's Twirly Girly, right?
Twirly girl, yeah.
No, I can't lie. She's the big three, great. Literally no idea what she does.
Yeah,
I know her
like,
powers have something to do with twirlies.
Things. It's like an energy blast, but they're in 12s, but I think it's just like energy. I'm not sure exactly how powerful she is and what it does.
Okay.
Sanita obviously got kind of quite a lot of time to shine in the overhaul arc, but was separated, and obviously Lemillion had his huge moment. But now we're going to get to see them all fight together.
It's going to be awesome.
She was missing loads of her hair in that last page. She was, and you heard one of the characters, not heard because it's a book, but one of the characters said, when Bakugo did his big explosion, someone said, "Be careful, you're going to burn more of her hair. You're going to take off more of her hair." That was in the chapter. He said, like, don't mess up her hair more, because she's one of the pretty showy ones who's going to be a movie star, or has that, she's like the prom queen. No, what was it? A beauty pageant they did, and stuff like that.
Simpler times, back before the world was in ruins.
Yes, but it really hits home. They're just like, they just want to graduate, and it's really hitting home that all these heroes are just kids, and they just want to graduate. And like all the other ones are in their first year. They haven't even finished their first year of school, and they're getting it real hard.
Giggity.
But yeah, so they're pretty busted up, but they are gonna step in and save. Like I say, I think they're gonna step in and try to fight Shigaraki or hold him off. They're the last people there standing to hold off Shigaraki from destroying everything until Deku arrives. But I feel they're stepping into the fight knowing full well that there's a very high percentage they're going to die.
At least one of them's going to die. I hate to say it, but
so.
It will probably be Buffet King. I can't remember his name. Sun Eater.
Sun Eater, yeah.
Yeah, because there's Buffet King, Twirly Girly, and Tintin. That's their names.
Tintin, yes.
He is Tintin, I'm sorry.
He is Tintin.
Yeah. But he's obviously going to survive. He's already had his heroic sacrifice moment during the overhaul arc, and it was badass. They can't do that again. He's going to be the tip of the spear doing the cool shit. Then Twirly Girly, she's not really been enough of a force in the series for her death to actually really matter. So she'll do something really cool so that she has her moment to shine, so that we all remember her name for next time. But then you've got Sun Eater, the Buffet King. Like, we know him. We're aware of what he can do. We've seen him have that kind of I have to persevere moment. Dead. He's so fucked. Like, there is death flags all over his character. I would almost be willing to bet money that he is not making it out of this arc alive.
Yeah, and I think it would have the biggest impact on Lemillion if he
Yeah.
got wiped out, because he's the one that was his friend and helped him, even though it's Sun Eater who's the quiet one, and Miria helped him, and he's his sunlight and everything. But I think that it's tricky though, because like in the last arc, the only person we lost was Midnight. And Rob always says, oh, it was just a cop-out. Like, they didn't want to kill any character that anyone had actually got close to. They just took out her because she's there and she's cool, but, you know. So, what if they just get rid of Twirly Girl because she hasn't really done anything and no one really is connected to her in any way? Whereas Sun Eater, I think, is a more popular character. I don't know. I honestly don't know. After watching so much TV where, like, no one dies, I'm not sure who's going to get killed off in this. I honestly don't know. You know, like, I always think that Aiza was at risk.
Yeah, very much so.
And...
that was creepy when he was there with Copy Guy, and they were, like, just throwing water and... don't close your eyes! Here's water in your eyes! Keep them open!
Like, holding his eyes open. Poor Monoma, yeah, he's great.
He is, yeah.
He's great. He's being the real hero right now, doing everything. Like none of the plan would work if he didn't have his power. I kind of like that they haven't made Warp Guy come back. They're like, no, your friend's dead. He's well and dead. We're sorry. And that's really unfortunate. And if you read Vigilantes, you'll cry deeply. But if you're an anime watcher or you haven't read Vigilantes, it's just kind of like, yeah. But it would have been cool, but at the same time, I don't think it needs to happen. And I'm trying to think of what else. Endeavor's
fucked.
I was trying to remember where Deku is. Because obviously when they first went through the warp gates, Deku got separated. He was meant to be with Bakugo and go to Shigaraki. And he got separated. And in my mind, I'm like, he just got thrown out in the middle of the nowhere. But no, he got thrown out to where All For One was. Which is...
I thought he was with... wasn't he with Vampire Girl and Gravity Girl?
And, because we haven't even seen that fight yet, have we?
Yeah. I have a feeling he was there with them, wasn't he?
And he's on his way to travelling to Shigaraki.
Yeah.
And that was like the last we saw of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering, like, when are we getting back to Deku? And then when the Shonen Jump Weekly has that cover with him on All For One, I'm like, okay, is that going to happen before we get to Shigaraki? Like, before we get to Shigaraki? Or, yeah, I don't know. We're kind of up in the air, and I don't know where it's going to go to next.
Chaos.
Other than, like, are we going to get this big three fight now? Or is it going to cut back to, Toga? Or is it going to cut back to All For One's... we don't know what state he's in. Are we going to see him transform or do whatever happened with his face? I don't know.
I have a feeling... I don't think they're going to show the fight. I think they're going to leave the big three where they are. They're going to jump to a different story now because... that was just too good a place to leave it. Like, if you don't leave it there, you have to show the whole fight. I just don't think they can stay in that chunk, that quadrant for long enough. Yeah, we're either going to jump back to Toga and Uraraka, or it's going to jump to a fourth area. Because isn't there one fight we haven't seen yet? It feels like we're missing a good half of the class.
Like, where's Red Riot and that?
You know, that's the only one I don't really give a shit about. Where's my boy Kirishima?
No, there's all of it. Red Riot, Ida, we don't know where any of them are.
Yeah. Like, there's a good chunk of the class that we haven't seen yet. So I'm kind of thinking after this, we're going to jump to a fourth fight. I'm just not sure who it's going to be against. But it will be there. Possibly, is Gigantomachia still around? I can't remember if he got taken out or not.
I think he's still captured.
I kind of like. Thing. Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, I think they captured him.
I felt like he got away, but I don't think he did. He's too big. He just lock his ass up.
Just lock him up. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of it.
There's definitely one more fight to come. And then once that fourth fight has been kind of established to the point the other ones are, it will then loop back round and we'll start to get the conclusions to all these fights that we've now had set up.
Yep.
And it's going to
take a while.
Oh, yeah.
Losing track of how long this is, and it's going to be an intense season of anime that's all just fighting.
It's going to be awesome.
And it's going to be awesome.
I was saying the same thing. Because I'm not quite caught up yet, but I'm closer to being caught up with JJK now than I was before. But like I haven't watched the first season, but like I've read through the first season up, and then I've read through what is going to be the second season, and it's like a 50 or 60 part little mini arc. It's absolutely insane. I don't know how they're going to fit all that. They can't put all that into one scene of the anime. Yeah. So I have a feeling there's going to be some serious blue ball from the fans who are like, come on, you can't just leave it there.
Yep, definitely.
It's going to be awesome watching their torment.
On the internet, it seems to be, it's going to be first season, season 2 will be first half, backstory stuff, young Gojo and that, and then second season will be the start of the Shibuya, just up to the capture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because big cliffhanger. Like if you've not read the manga, that's like, I mean, you're not read up to date, but yeah.
If you're not up to date, get up to date. It's freaking awesome. You
are not far off, are you, Tig?
No, I think I've got about. I had a bit of a break because I was away and the internet was terrible. So I was like streaming, so to speak, the chapters, and the internet was being a dickhead, so I couldn't read them all. But I'm now back and I'm really pushing through, so I should be up to date pretty quickly because once I start reading, it's quite hard to stop.
Yeah, but you finished off with Badass Maki.
Yes, what
I love legend. That you sent me a screen grab of her and her sister getting totaled.
Yeah, properly.
And I purposely didn't reply anything. I just thought I'm just gonna wait until he sees what happens after that, because that's like sick, you know. So. Yeah,
that's
Maki.
Gonna look so fucking good when it gets animated. Oh my god.
Already, I've seen so many people with tattoos of her in her like scarred state, and
she looks badass. It's
understandable. Looks so badass.
Yeah.
It was I again, I really love how they explain everything.
Yeah.
So explain, because it's like their strengths was almost split between them, yeah. So when she died, she kind of got all of her strength in essence. I don't know.
Yeah, it was cool. Whatever it was.
It was very cool. Whose other powers are interesting? The cell guy that does like the animation cells almost.
Oh yeah, the 24 frames per second
times.
Guy. That was cool.
That stuff's cool.
There's a lot of really I like the 7-3 split guy.
Yes.
That's a very. I've seen that the idea of the kind of the 7-3 part has shown up a few times in various different manga. Like I don't know what the obsession is with that. Like maybe if someone knows what the deal is there, they can explain it to us. But yeah, it's cropped up too many times for it to just be a throwaway joke. But he was. I like his power. Yeah, I think we briefly discussed this earlier, but it may have been before. But yeah, I like the idea of domain expansions.
Yes.
But they're a little not dull, but it's just here's my domain expansion. Now I can pick one of you, and you're fucked. It feels like they could have done a little more with that. Like one guy's just shown up, like his domain expansion is just like, yeah, now we're in court, and you have to justify your actions, or you get punished. Like that's a way cooler power.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like they should have kind of had that as the baseline. Like, oh yeah, my power is kind of water based. So guess what? You're all underwater now, and you all have to swim until you decide until you can beat me, rather than just being, here's my domain, one of you's fucked, enjoy. Like, it would have had more counterplay and more creativity if they'd made them non-lethal, and then have one person, probably Gojo, that's just, guess what, domain expansion, you're dead, suck it, because I'm Gojo. Boom.
Yeah,
Gojo. Boom.
Because Megumi's domain, which is incomplete, I think will be
cool one.
A cool one. And then there's a character that you haven't met yet who you will love. You will love their domain expansion
Awesome.
then, because it's just cool. And then there's another character who are yet to have revealed, and it's kind of like whenever they reveal their it's all gonna lead, I think, to their domain reveal and a big ass insane fight for sure.
Always good.
Yeah,
the freaking action sequences in this series are so good. Like, the fights are just next fucking level. I know it's a battle manga, so it's obviously gonna have good fights, but I mean, I've seen a lot of battle manga that have incredibly subpar fights. It's not exactly a requirement. Like, it's the scenes in this are just fucking top quality.
And I think a lot of when you're reading a fight, it's like, oh, here's some still frames, and you don't often get the feel of it. Yeah, I feel like in Jujutsu Kaisen, it's really well choreographically drawn. If that makes sense. You get the real sense of all the motion and everything that's happening. Whereas some, it's just like you was explaining earlier, kick, punch. Oh, that's it. But
funnily enough, just bring everything full circle, because life is a circle. Another artist that's crazy good at capturing like movement in still frames is Ryan Otley, that does the artwork for Invincible. A lot of the fights in the Invincible comic, like, there's this real sense of like speed and motion to them, even on still panels. I really can't wait. There's a couple of fights coming up in the, possibly not in season 2, but definitely in season 3, that are just like fucking horrific. I cannot wait to see them. And the same thing as a couple of really amazing fights in JJK that are probably going to be in season 2 that I'm very excited to watch. So,
season
can't
2.
Wait for that.
Season 2 is going to be sick, and Mappa have said that they're going to be pulling, all of the amazingness out of the bag. It's going to be, which is, have you looked at the anime at all? Season 1?
No.
The animation's fantastic. Yeah, it's really good. The colours and the way that they do all their abilities and all of the cursed energy and everything's just really, really nice. And so them saying that it's going to be even better and it's going to be like even more sick is crazy.
I'm here for that.
So the fight in the forest with like Todo and Yuji is with the cursed spirit tree person.
Tree guy, yes.
Tree guy is sick. So Rob's just put the clap fight is really good. Yeah, so just that, seeing that animated is really, really great. So yeah, it's well worth watching the anime.
Isn't the second season out quite soon?
The second season, I don't know if they've only just started making it and it's coming next year. Because I feel like, we're going to get it in full, but then the way they're talking about it is like they're only just started making it, so we're definitely not going to, I think it's next year.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully we'll get it like spring next year, maybe?
Because I don't know why I thought it was coming out quite soon, so I was just going to wait and watch them both back to back, but if the second season isn't coming out for like freaking months, I'll probably watch that quite soon. Because I'm impatient.
Yeah, 2023.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll probably watch that quite soon.
So the earliest we'll get that probably is April, I would imagine.
Boo. Okay.
Yeah, the thing that you might be... To Your Eternity season 2 is out in October. Or is that out in the summer? No, I think it's October.
I know Bleach has come out in October, and I cannot fucking wait for that. Love that show.
Yeah, October. So you could watch season 1 kind of before that comes out, and then watch season 2 as it comes out. Because season 2 is going to be great. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. It's worth watching it. It's worth watching it now. Yeah, I'd watch it now,
I will.
And then you can watch the Zero movie, or hell, watch the Zero movie and then watch Jujutsu Kaisen, because that's the right order.
Yeah, do it chronologically.
And that's why I think it's funny, because I would have thought that Jujutsu Kaisen started at 1, and then they made the 0, and the anime came out the same way, but it wasn't. 0 was first. But they must have, like, when it got picked up for anime release, they must have just gone, do you know what, we think that people are gonna like Yuji and this story more, and even though we know that the characters in 0 are gonna come back, introducing them first and then taking them away so quickly, people just watching that as an anime is gonna be weird. Yeah. Like, if that was just the anime beginning, do you know what I mean? And then that'd be the first half of the anime, and then the second half of the anime. Here's some totally different characters for you.
Yeah, it would have thrown the pacing off quite a bit. I can see why they chose to release them both in separate ways. Like, the anime makes more sense just to have, here's season 1, here's Yuji, he eats fingers, it's gross, done. And then release 0 as like a flashback movie, because it is kind of a self-contained story. It does work quite well as just like a 90-minute film instead of having it as the first half of the season.
Yeah.
But I'd say I did quite like when your man showed back up. He's kind of badass now. I dig him. I think if I was in that world, I would be dead. But if I wasn't, if I somehow managed to not just die horrifically in 30 seconds, I would definitely want to be kind of that, like him and Clap Guy, just like focus all the power into being as hench as possible, and don't really bother with all the fancy twirly techniques. I can't be asked with that. I'd forget them all. Just all the power into your fists and punch people till they stop back talking you.
Just punch people. Yeah, Yuji and Todo are pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's but Todo's got the perfect mix of like raw power and a really good technique.
Yeah. His technique is a lot of fun.
It's so good. It's so good. And yeah. Trying to think. And then my favourite from who I can't wait to see. Rob's put, and his domain will probably be silly. Yeah, if Todo had a domain, it's gonna be
butts
related to a drama.
It's gonna be all full of butts.
All tall just Jennifer Lawrence's everywhere.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, Choso. That character is the one I'm looking forward to seeing most, and yeah, he's great. That whole fight in the bathroom.
That is going to be
sick.
Yeah.
The explanation of curse techniques and things. So the whole blood thing, and Yuji thinks he's got him, and then he just totally fucks him up.
So good.
It was so good.
That whole fight was insane.
And not to mention, he has an awesome costume. Everyone on the internet's like, the boots that he wears are like Prada or something.
Really?
They're like raving over his costume and these boots that he wears, yeah. They're like some really expensive Prada fashionable boots. But I just love his little bunches. His little bunches. He's just the coolest character. So
he's really cool.
Yeah. And going into the culling game, we're meeting lots and lots more characters.
Yes.
Some of which I'm sure will become allies. Because for me, I'm kind of like...
most of which will be culled.
It's kind of like, if you're a curse user, but you're not a Jujutsu sorcerer, then you're just a curse user, and you're essentially a criminal or a bad person. It is how it seems to go. And then we have like the whole confusion of all the clans, and it's just like a big political thing, isn't it? It's like there's all these different clans and they've all got a head, and now
They all seem to be dicks.
Yeah, they're all dicks. And now obviously they've done the thing where it's like Gojo is a bad person and they want his head. Anyone helping him is going to be considered a criminal or whatever. And yeah, it's all going down in the Jujutsu world. And we are excited, and yeah, it's just great. It's very good.
And they've dropped just enough hints that there's still 2 or 3 pretty major kind of reveals and twists left to come.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, there's still a lot of good story to tell in this world. Like, I'm reading a few manga at the moment where it's like, okay, yeah, it's good, but you can just tell that they're winding down. But this one just seems like this is still very much on the build up right now. There's a lot left to go, and I'm quite excited to see where they take it.
Yeah, for sure. I think and talking about we're talking about killing off characters in My Hero Academia. Jujutsu Kaisen, man, they don't care. Oh, that character you really love, who's like a fan favorite, gone.
Yeah.
Which is great, because no matter how much you love the characters, if you ever feel like any of them are safe, then there's no tension.
Yeah.
And I feel like this manga's just like, yeah, we're just gonna snap them away, and because it's such a fast-paced story, we have to move on, and you just got to deal with it. It's like, oh, okay, got ya. Okay.
So why I'm quite worried that we're gonna lose at least one like big character during this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feels like you know something there you're not telling me.
No, I don't know anything. No,
okay.
And that, as of yet, I mean, like I say, we're only a few chapters ahead. You're not that
True.
far behind.
No.
It's mostly, honestly, the stuff that you're going to get is mostly like just culling game setup, and because like what they've just set up with this kind of game is like massive, and the explanation of it, and it's all in different areas. I feel sorry for, you know what I was saying? If I was in the Jujutsu world, I'd probably be someone who's not a Jujutsu sorcerer, but is a curse user, but not a curse user. So I have cursed power, but I don't use it. I'm just living my normal life over here. And maybe the Jujutsu Academy tried to recruit me when I was younger, because they're like, I imagine they go around whenever they hear of anyone that's got power. Like, they can sense cursed energy in that, right? So they'd go around and try to get them to join the school. And I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna go to school and then I want to be an accountant. Like, that's... I don't know, do you know what I mean? And because, hey, I might be all powerful, but I don't want to die. And like,
more trouble than it's worth.
So anyone like that in that world right now is being told they've got to go and join this game within 19 days, or they're gonna die. And that's
Pretty
unfortunate.
Savage. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh, the heroes are going to wrap this up within those 19 days. I know, but yeah, it's an interesting concept. The whole world is fucked.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And everyone it's just that, yeah. Unlike with Hawkins, everyone who's not a sorcerer can see all this shit, and it's like, this is a thing in the world.
Yep.
The news is like, no, it's just an earthquake. Don't look out of your windows. Nothing to be alarmed of. Shut all your windows and doors.
It's not a demon, it's a particularly large owl. It's fine. Fucking not.
But yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's the kind of thing where I'm so glad, because I watched the anime and got so into it immediately that I instantly was like, I cannot wait. I need to read it. I cannot wait. I have to read it. This is the way. Yeah. What else have I got on my list? We've managed to stay pretty on topic this time.
Yeah.
I think because we've left it a few weeks, we've had quite a lot of actual things to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, the only other
Shitload of
anime
content.
I wanted to mention was Spy Family. We finished watching that, and yeah, like it's like you keep saying, oh, it's the biggest thing, and it's like really big right now. Everyone's like really fully into it. I can understand why, because like the characters are quite. It's really fun and quirky, and it was a good watch. But it's not. It's not one where I'm like, I love it, and I must go and buy some figurines and read it. I will just sit and wait until the. Well, I won't be waiting for it, but when the next bit of the season comes out, we'll watch it. But
Yeah.
but it's not like a. Can't wait for that to come out. Better read the manga. But it was enjoyable enough. It was funny. It was quirky. It was good enough. Good enough.
Something that's all that required. Not really sure why it got quite the hype it did, but you can never really tell what social media are going to glomp onto as being the big thing. So
yeah, it's difficult.
Just roll with it.
My Dragon Maid sticker's fallen off of my laptop in the heat.
Jesus.
It's been hanging on for dear life for a while, but it's
Finally given up.
I'm gonna have to glue it back on. I can't not have it.
Yeah, naturally.
Naturally.
But I just caught up with Eden Zero. I'd fallen behind by a few chapters, so I was getting it off Comixology, but now Amazon are being dickheads, so I can't get it on there anymore.
Amazon
I finally
being
caught
dickheads.
up. I know,
What?
it's a shocking twist, isn't it? Who would have thought that fucking Luthor Corp or Lex Corp would finally cave? But no, yeah. Honestly, I know a lot of people kind of shit on that series for just being Fairy Tail again, but like, I couldn't stand Fairy Tail. Gave it so many attempts, couldn't get into it. But man, Eden Zero is absolutely bonkers. The first season's up on Netflix. It's decent, but not great. Just wait till season 2 drops. You meet one of the baddest motherfuckers in kind of current anime, Draken Joe. What a legend! And like the arc that's going on right now, it's just non-stop, fucking mind-blowing nonsense. It's completely insane. I don't know what the hell he's been smoking when he writes this series, but they just keep like flipping everything on its head every like 50 or so chapters. Oh, yeah, by the way, you know all that shit we told you before? Yeah, check this out. So good.
Maybe I'll give that a watch. I'm trying to think. Made in Abyss season 2 has come out.
Has it?
We're just trying to figure out where to watch it.
It's like if it's not on Crunchyroll or anything.
If it's not on Crunchyroll now, it's like, what? What do we do?
Have they officially merged now and brought all of their catalog across? Because the last time I checked, Crunchyroll had
stuff.
like Crunchyroll, the lineup was absolute dog shit. Last time I checked.
I know they've just Rob's saying they have fully merged because I know that I just got a little notification saying, oh, Soul Eater's on Crunchyroll, and I thought to myself, oh, maybe I'll give that a watch, because I remember trying to watch it when I was younger and just being a bit bored, not really getting into it. Like, I feel like I should like all the characters, and they seem cool, like Death the Kid and everything. I look at them and think, yeah, I should like those, they look cool. And then I watched like a couple
episodes. It's got a good art
episodes
style, I'll give it that.
and was like, But now, it's on the internet everywhere, but it's a prequel to... Well, it's not a prequel. Fire Force is a prequel to Soul Eater, and we watched Fire Force, so now I'm kind of like, should I watch Soul Eater while we wait for more Fire Force? I don't know. So I might give it a go and be like, I didn't like it when I was 12 or 15, however old I was. But maybe I was just...
Strange.
Yeah. But yeah, so they are fully merged, and we will see. Yeah, it's just... If I don't know if Made in Abyss is on a thing I can subscribe to, or if it's only like an American thing, or I don't know. Because we need to watch it. The first season's so good.
Where did you watch the first season, or was it?
I don't even know. It's so long ago.
Sail the Seas.
It was probably just on a random thing. Yeah, Robert's saying it's on some random thing. But I don't know.
Streaming services are really starting to piss me off. Like, we had sort of 4 to start with, and it was fine. Now there's like 20 different. Everyone's fucking taking off their own things and putting them in. It's like, fuck off. Just make like 4 and put everything on those 4, and then leave it alone.
Yeah, I do wonder. Why can't everyone just join their companies together and be one happy thing where everything's
Because
there?
Like,
because
is it anime? Great. It's on Crunchyroll. Done.
yeah,
End of discussion. If it's anime and it's streaming worldwide, it's on Crunchyroll. End of discussion.
I like Crunchyroll. The only thing I don't like about the interface is when I watch it on the app on the Now TV box, it doesn't come like. I wish it would come up with a little thing like next episode, because if you don't want to watch all the credits and it's an anime that you know doesn't have like an end bit, or if you know it's an anime where the end bit is just a next time on and it's not actually an extra little bit of random stuff, you got to like fast forward it to the end and then it will play the next episode. But I wish it just had like a skip to next episode button.
Yeah.
And it's hard to navigate like, if I go
search
on,
thing is garbage.
Yeah, and if I click on the episode, like I'm watching Dragon Maid, but it's something that I will watch all the time when I just want to put something on, for instance. And it's got like the last one I watched on my like currently watching thing, and I'll click on that. Now I'm on Dragon Maid. When I press back, I want it to take me to the Dragon Maid library.
Exactly.
Not take me back to the main menu.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I have to go on search and type in Dragon Maid, and it's frustrating. I'd rather, once I've clicked on a show, when I press back, take me back to the episode list.
Exactly.
That's what I want, Crunchyroll.
It's common sense.
That's what I want, because it makes it easier for me to find. I don't know if I should actually, if there's a favourites option where I can favourite animes, and it will be a section where it's all my favourite animes, where I can access them. Because there's so much on it, and it's like Netflix now, where it's in like categories, like new on,
really
previously added, whatever, and it's just so hard to navigate that it frustrates me.
Some of the categories are fucking weird.
Yeah, like
they make no sense.
But yeah, other than that, Crunchyroll's great, and I like. So it's easier to navigate actually streaming like from my phone onto like our Chromecast. But because I've got it on the TV, I use the TV app.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not on my TV. I don't think any TV I've encountered can have Crunchyroll downloaded, but it's on the Now TV box, which is fine. But yeah, it is frustrating. It's like that. Can all smart TVs just have all the same apps on them now, please?
That would be great, yeah.
Because it's like my smart TV's got Amazon on it. I can't remember if it's got Disney on it. So on my Now TV box, I've got Disney and Crunchyroll, but like the TV's got Netflix and Amazon, and it's just like you're trying to navigate 87 different thousand devices, and it's like, what we were watching this on again? Like,
oh god, that's the worst one. I'm trying to remember what freaking streaming service you were watching what thing on.
Yeah.
Such a ball ache. Yeah.
But yeah, since Crunchyroll come out, it's been fantastic having an app where I can. And it's reasonably priced as well. For the amount of anime that we watch, it's very reasonably priced. And if you do watch a lot of anime, and they come out in all the different seasons, like as in like winter, spring, fall, whatever, you're generally getting really good content and enough content to warrant having that streaming service for the year through. Whereas Netflix is like, I could not have Netflix subscription for most of the year and then just get it and kind of watch everything I wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't have enough big ticket items to kind of warrant me having like a Netflix subscription for the whole year.
Same.
That's probably why all of their subs are dropping, but they're just convinced it's because people are sharing their accounts. But it's like, maybe if you made it better, make your streaming service better, and people will pay to watch it.
Oh, I will say it's It's the 21st. Yeah, we've got about 2 weeks, I think. They're dropping the season 1 of their Sandman live action.
Oh, you've been excited for
Oh, that looks so good. You will not be hearing from me for that whole weekend. I will just be shutting everything down and doing nothing but watching Sandman. Cannot fucking wait.
that. I'll have to watch that then so that we can discuss
You do.
it.
You absolutely do.
Yeah, so we're going away. We're going away next week, I think. And then I guess the week after or whenever we can chat again, but not whilst you're watching that, obviously, because you'll be too busy.
I will be talking to no one.
Talking to no one.
The only person that's going to hear from me on that Friday is freaking Uber Eats, so they can send me dinner because I'm not stopping to cook. Just send me a fucking kebab and leave it at the door.
Bring me food.
Yes. So good. Can't wait.
I'm trying to think
Better
what
not
the
be
next
disappointing.
thing. What the next thing I'm looking forward to is. I don't know, but My Hero Academia and To Your Eternity come out in October, so I'm kind of like something must be coming out in the summer. Oh, other than going to see Dragon Ball Super, which is out on August 19th. But
the new movie.
Yeah.
I heard bad things.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still gonna go see it, but it's
Naturally.
it's not good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, it's not because I don't need it to play into any of the movies, any of the TV show. I'm not asking for that, but I know that it does, and they are considered canon. And here's my thing: is that the major gripe with the manga and with the anime is that, oh, there's a big bad, and one of the characters is gonna get another power up. I'm like, look, this is the premise of Dragon Ball Z. It has been since the dawn of its creation. If you don't like that premise, that they're going to train, yeah, and they're going to get new forms to get stronger, then don't watch it. Because you're never going to be happy. You will never be happy if you're not happy with that format.
It's the exact same complaint I have about Demon Slayer. Like, I've been reading through it, and it's the exact same thing every fucking fight, and I just can't be bothered with it.
Just stop torturing yourself.
No, I'm nearly done. I might as well. I've got this, like, I think it's about 3 volumes left, and I'm done.
But with Dragon Ball Super, I feel like I like it. I'm happy enough for it. I understand that that's the premise of the show, and I'm here for it. But as long as the new big bad and the characters you're introducing are good, which they have been in the manga, then I'm all for it. Obviously, this movie takes place further in time than the manga is currently at. So it's like new waters, you know. But there's new forms, and apparently they suck. And I've seen everything there is to see about the movie now because the internet exists. But I still want to go see it because it's just a good experience to be able to see something that you like in the cinema.
Yeah, it'll be
it's an event.
Counts.
You know, it's an event. We'll go see it.
Exactly.
My
it's
brother's
like the
managed
new,
to
One Piece film.
Right, yeah. Is that the Stampede one on Netflix?
No, Red. Like it's not out yet.
Oh, is that one coming out?
The next one coming out soon, Red. That's all about Shanks.
If it's coming out in cinema.
Possibly, I'm not 100%. It's one of those things that'll probably get shown in like the Prince Charles cinema. It's not going to get a full release.
I can't remember. Rob said that something he wants to watch is coming out in cinema, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, I don't watch it, but I'll go see it with you. I don't know if that was One Piece.
Could be.
Maybe. I'm trying to, what else was there? No, I'm thinking about things that don't exist. I don't know.
Such is life.
Such is life. Probably tired. It's quite warm. We've.
Yeah.
I think we've been here for a while actually. We've been here for like 2.5 hours today.
Really?
That was without tangents.
Yeah, remarkably focused.
Rob's put wasn't that Kaisen? Oh yeah, he's right. We went to see Jujutsu Kaisen 0 before I watched the anime. No, was it before I watched the anime? I think it might have been. And then I was like, oh, I better watch this anime now. No, I must have watched. No, I watched the anime first, and then we went to see the movie. But I watched it very briefly before we went to see the movie because I was like, better watch it, because I tried to watch it a year before, and on like Christmas Day, I think I said before, and I just wasn't paying attention to it. So then kept putting it off and off and off, and then he's like, "Oh, the movie's coming out in cinema," so I actually sat down and watched it, and absolutely loved it.
Because it's fucking quality.
It's awesome. Yeah, if you get free time, make sure you watch the anime. And I will watch Ms. Marvel, and
yes,
I will try and possibly go and see Thor, even though I've heard that it's awful.
Well, I have to go see it because I want to, because I want to see how bad it is, but also because went to see Doctor Strange, which was also awful, with my brother, and so I was like, well, if you pay for that, I'll get Thor when it comes out at the end of the month. So I owe him a trip to the cinema, but it's like it's my all-time favorite Thor run, all-time favorite Marvel run. I know it's going to be terrible, but I have to see how terrible.
Just how terrible.
Yeah, I need to know. Like, it's the same reason why I watched the first Twilight film. If I'm gonna be ripping into it, I need to be able to state with categorical evidence why I'm ripping into it.
I was saying that Twilight's not that bad.
It is.
In retrospect, I like. We watched. Did I tell you that we rewatched Underworld?
No, how was it?
No, this has been like a week. Right, okay. So when I was a teenager, I thought Underworld was great. Underworld 2 was also great. No, they're not good. They are not good films. They're just not.
Really?
They have aged awfully. Nothing happens. They're terrible. The characters are awful. The effects are not good. It's just, I'm like, how did we like this? I don't understand it. And then we watched
back in sale.
Van Helsing, which is totally still a good film.
Really?
Honest, like, even the effects have not aged that bad, because a lot of the bad CGI is like hidden in the darkness. They like very smartly did it. It's still an alright film. I mean, look, it's not a masterpiece. Let's not go overboard. But it's as good as it was. It's as good as I remember it was. Which for probably 20 years ago. Oh, it's definitely 20 years old. No, 2003 or 4, I think it came out.
Yeah.
It's held up.
We're old.
It's held up, and it was still funny. We enjoyed it. After watching Underworld and just being like, what? Why are we watching this?
I recently rewatched through all of Fast and the Furious, which is terrible. And I was trying to think what my next terrible film series to watch through. The thing is, the last couple aren't that bad.
Okay. So I watched them all up until the last couple. I just haven't got around to seeing them.
I think it's the ones with The Rock, basically, are pretty good. The rest are all terrible.
It's about family.
Yeah, exactly. Never turn your back on family. Except the 5 or 6 times that they do, but that's a story for another time.
That's a story for another time.
Finish all of them, and I now need another terrible film series to watch all of. I might go through Underworld.
Watch Underworld then, yeah. I mean, honestly, we didn't get far into the second one. I was like, no, I can't do it. And then, I know.
I seem to remember. I think it's the 3rd or 4th. Yeah, that's good.
With Michael Sheen is the best of them.
Yeah.
And then they made the one with like the different person or Awakening or I don't know what it's called. Anyway,
there's one with like her kid or something. And apparently that one is an absolute dumpster fire.
But we just got on the general talk of vampires, and I was like, do you know what? After watching Underworld, Twilight's not bad. And what I figured out I like about Twilight is that the vampires actually have a good sense of immortality. They can go out in the day, right? They have life. And they're hard to kill. In the first Twilight movie, they explain that to kill a vampire, they have to be pulled apart and burned.
Jesus.
Right? Which is extreme. All other vampires, freaking stakes to the heart and they're done. That's the same way you kill a human. There's nothing special about that. But on top of that, sunlight also kills them. Crosses are bad, holy water's bad, and they have no sense of life. Their life's gone. It's like you're immortal, but it's shit. Whereas in Twilight, they can live perfectly normal lives, you know, until people realise they're not aging. They just move from town to town. And it's like gloomy towns because only in full sunlight do they sparkle, so they can hide the fact that they're different. It's like, okay, they have lives. And they're immortal and they're hard to kill. But then in the later films, when they're doing all their big fights, because it's for teenagers and kids, I feel like they completely got rid of the whole, oh yeah, you have to be pulled apart and burned. Because when they fight, they hit each other and slash each other and they just turn to stone and dust. And I'm like, why have you completely got rid... I know why, like I just said, no gore. But it's frustrating because that was like the best thing about these vampires was that they're hard to kill.
They're actually surprisingly hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like really strong, really fast. They play baseball in thunderstorms.
That is a good scene.
The soundtracks
Credit where it's
for all
due.
the...
Yeah. The soundtrack is
all
banging.
the Twilight movies have great soundtracks. But yeah.
So you can't hear the dialogue.
So you can't hear the Don't pay attention to the story or what's happening. It's shite. But the soundtrack's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there at our Twilight TED Talk and on vampires. Yeah, and we'll come back in a couple or a few weeks and discuss whatever else has happened in the world of
Probably
geekdom.
Thor.
Probably, yeah. I will definitely try and get to see Thor. I think the only person
and try and
that will
catch
go
up on
to see it
Mashal.
with me. Yes, because I'm only at chapter 1. I'm like, my brother's like gone way ahead. I'm like, I've read the first chapter and then just nothing, but I will read that. And like I said, I was going to reread Doro Doro. And
Sakamoto Days. Great series.
They've just put... Is that an anime as well?
Manga.
It's only manga?
Yeah, so far.
I don't know where I just... That's on Shonen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It just had the big... It was on the banner for a while.
Right, okay. Because I know it cropped up somewhere and I was like, Sakamoto Days. I know that.
I'm pretty sure I told you
that.
to watch it last time we were here.
Yeah. But I saw it somewhere quite... where I wasn't expecting to see it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. I was saying on Twitter the other day, if they do animate it, which they should because it's brilliant, they need to do it in the style of the anime section from Kill Bill Volume 1.
Right.
Like, if they did Sakamoto Days in that style, it would just be anime of the year.
Rob's
Easy.
just said he's going to read that once he's read Chainsaw Man.
Haven't read that, so that's another one that keeps cropping up in places. I kind of feel like I should read it. But yeah, enjoy Rob because it's a great fucking series.
Mappa is working on the Chainsaw Man anime currently, I believe. Which is where I'm really confused. They're like working on that. They're doing Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, and I'm just sure we're never gonna get Doro Doro season 2 ever in history. Which is fine because watching Doro Doro season 1 on repeat is my go-to thing. I just put it on Netflix because it's on Netflix. I just put it on and it's fantastic, and we have the manga and I'm kind of happy. Like if it never gets animated, it'll be fine. But now it's started being animated, it would be nice to have the whole story.
Don't want to tease.
However, it's so brutal and crazy that I don't know if they want to do it. But it's very, very good.
I'll check that out as well.
Yeah, all we do endlessly is tell each other to watch things, and then like, if you watch that, no, especially me, I'm really bad. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it, and then I just don't get around to it.
Essentially, like A-star, #1 top priority, Miss Marvel.
Ms. Marvel, yeah, that's my, because I know I can blaze through that really quickly. And it's under my Disney Plus, so it's easy. Yeah. Boop, there we go.
Absolute A-star, top tier, quality content. She's hilarious and adorable. And the Reddit AMA with her is fantastic.
Okay.
Surprisingly clean. I was worried it might go down a different path, but it didn't.
Cool.
It's Reddit after all.
Yeah, Reddit. Oh man. Right. so hot here.
I'm
The
dying.
PC's like... I
That's not good.
need to open some windows. I have really loud neighbours, so I'm like, I can't have the windows open because
Boo.
you're just going to hear crazy shit the whole time. But, yeah, I will...
I'm the loud neighbour, so sorry. I always have my back doors open, my TV right next to my door. Like, it was sort of 1:30 in the afternoon, was blaring out the friggin' Umbrella Academy finale. Like, I'm pretty sure they dropped the C-bomb at least twice. Like, my next door neighbours have young kids. They'd probably turn the volume down.
Yeah, like I'm sitting at home watching The Boys, and it's one of those TV shows where the action's really loud and the dialogue's really quiet. So you turn it up, and then all of a sudden an action sequence happens, or some weird sex shit is going on, and you're like, turning it down, thinking my neighbours
Love
are going to
Sausage
think
shows
I'm
up.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm pretty sure my neighbours hate me anyway, so I don't really give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I try to be good neighbour, but then like the rest of them make so much noise, and I'm just kind of like, I'll give up now. But I'm still quite good. We're barely ever here. Like at most, I have my music on, and I think I'm the only person in the entire town that listens to anything that isn't pop music. So it's either like Japanese anime stuff, or it's like, you know, heavier music. They're probably like, what the hell is that? But I have to listen to their shitty pop shit all the time. So it's like, have some of this.
God. When we were in Greece, we were just listening, like we had sort of the music on repeat, kind of just streaming nonsense. We were listening to like late 90s, early aughts, kind of heavy rock, just
Right.
random selections. Bit of System of a Down comes on. I was like, hell yeah, I love a bit of System. The fucking audacity of my sister to say Serge doesn't have a good voice. She's like, what is it? Dude can't sing. I was like, get out. I know we're 3 hours away, but fuck off home. No one disrespects Serge in my ear. Sight, sound, range.
When we talk about the most talented singers and bands that are like musically very good, System of a Down is the best.
Absolutely.
Their harmonies and yeah, just fantastic.
The funny thing is, I then came home a couple of days later, was just randomly scrolling through YouTube, and I saw a video, and it was like a high-tier professional music coach, or like vocal analyst, listening to System of a Down.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got to now, hit it on the play, and she was just like, this guy's freaking amazing. The things he can do with his voice shouldn't be possible. I was like,
Yeah.
hell yes.
Yeah.
Vindication.
Technically speaking, they're, like I say, the absolute best.
Yeah.
Like, their music's super interesting, super wacky, but super interesting and different. And it's like nothing sounds like System of a Down.
No.
And they do it heavy, good, crazy, good, slow and ballady, good. Like if you can nail all of them different types of music, yeah, like Lonely Day. Ah, what a lovely song. Just like
Frickin'
it's
spiders.
just lovely. There's just, you know, it's good.
Great track.
It's good stuff.
is.
Yeah, I like listening to just random shit as well. Like I S Club 7. They're like my favourite growing up, so I still listen to S Club 7. And then I have like my I like James Blunt. That's like my I'm
secret
ashamed,
shame.
but I like James Blunt. Well, my favourite band's Linkin Park, and then Linkin Park, Papa Roach, like growing up. Panic at the Disco.
Have you seen The One starring Jet Li?
Yes.
With the it's hands down, I will fight anyone that says the last scene of The One is not the greatest last scene in cinema history. Do you remember it?
Robert is like one of his all-time favourite films. I'm surprised
Damn
he's
right,
not
he has
like he's probably
excellent
frantically typing
taste.
right now.
Now,
Or
for
he's
those that
gone.
haven't seen it, go and fucking watch it. But the last scene, like Villain gets to his big pyramid prison thing, he just lands there and goes, the guy calls him a bitch or something. He's like, oh, no, I am Yulaw. I am nobody's bitch. You are all mine. And then the camera pans out as like these hordes of prisoners just jump on Jet Li as he kicks the crap out of all of them. And then for no reason, Papa Roach Last Resort just starts playing. It's the most ridiculous metal 90s bullshit ever, and it's fucking glorious.
Rob's just put, that's how I found the music. Yeah, we...
Yet another thing that Jet Li is amazing at.
Yeah, what's the other film that he's in that's really good? Unchained, or...
Oh, a bit of a deep cut there, yeah. The one where he's with Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, great film.
That was a great one. Have you seen Fearless?
Yes, that's another one. Rob loves these.
Yep, one of my... I would put that in my top 3 all-time martial arts films. Yeah. Absolute classic. Up there with... I can never quite decide between Enter the Dragon and Way of the Dragon. They're both fantastic. And then Drunken Master 1 with Jackie Chan. Great fucking flick.
Yeah, I remember we had the one on like VHS. And yeah. But yeah, Unchained. I don't know how we... I think that was in the era that our sister worked at Blockbuster. And we got like 10 free rentals a week. So we had just like all the movies we could ever want. Because that's the kind of movie that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen Kiss of the Dragon?
No.
Oh, that's a great one. Jet Li and I want to say Bridget Fonda, one of the Fondas.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, he's like a top spy soldier guy, and he's sent to Paris, I think, to work with the French, kind of his French equivalents. And it turns out the guys are wrong, but then like the deal goes, like the mission goes sour, and they try and blame it on him, and he has to like try and kind of prove his innocence to the guy that set him up. And she's there, but she's a hooker or something, and it's completely insane, but brilliant and French for some reason.
Rob's put that there's a real nasty death scene in Dragon. I don't know.
Dude, if it means Kiss of the Dragon, I know the one in Dragon, yeah, and it's fucking brutal. But there's the problem with Dragon is like literally 50% of martial arts films.
Oh, with the needles he's put.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Proper grim one. Great scene. So grim. I need to watch that film again.
Yeah, I was just thinking...
I think I have it here somewhere.
What was we talking about? No. Yeah, I haven't seen any Jet Li film for ages.
He's been really ill.
Well, I know that he doesn't make anything much nowadays, and he was in Milan only because his kids really wanted him to do it, or like he only made it because of whatever, and he was barely in it, and it was naff anyway. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Been really ill?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he's basically retired now. He's he's really sick, but I think he's recovering now. But it was touch and go for a while.
Because I know he did like the Mummy 3.
Yeah, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. What a piece of shit. Yeah.
So
don't get me wrong.
bad.
Love the Mummy. Love Mummy 2. Love Brendan Fraser. But that film was god awful.
It was terrible.
Yeah, no one wanted that film made.
Yeah, Rob said that it was his daughter that asked him to do Milan, so he did.
That's fair.
That was like Christian Bale agreed to do Thor because his kids were like, "Yeah, do it." He's like, "All right."
But they regret it now.
I love how like laid back he is and how like unassuming he is. He's so like down to earth. He's just like this proper Cockney geezer that's just like there. He looks so out of place on a red carpet. There's like pictures of them all standing there, and you know that someone's just gone, "Chris, mate, you got to put this suit on." And he's like, "Oh, come on, really? I've got. Ah, fine, go on then. Yeah, I'll put it on." And then he's just standing there like.
I really want to see him on Hot Ones. I think he'd be amazing on that.
He's just he's funny, and I know that like he's quite method, and he gets in. I was talking about it that I like these actors, like him, Adam Driver. They're not into the whole social side of everything. Not got social media. Don't do all that shit, you know. Just, but they throw themselves headfirst into any acting role, and because they just love the craft. And it's like that's great. I love that. But they just seem like really nice, really grounded people because that's just their job. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they don't indulge in any of the fame side of it.
They're not doing it to get famous. They're doing it because they love doing it, which is
just because they love acting.
It's the right way to look at it.
Yeah. So, and I love the response of anything online is like, oh, Christian Bale's British. Everyone thinks he's American, and they listen to him speak, and it's funny because he's like so common Cockney. It's like hilarious.
It's ridiculous. It's so unexpected when you hear him talk. It's insane.
But if you've watched Prestige, like that's kind of what I know. That's like more old timey Cockney, but yeah.
Great film though.
Watch, and you know you don't need an excuse to watch Prestige. Just watch Prestige. It's one of the greatest movies. We love it, and it's got David Bowie in it.
It does, playing Tesla.
You want more reasons to watch
quite
it?
Possibly the most perfect casting ever.
So good, right?
Oh,
I remember watching it and like he comes on the screen and I'm like, David Bowie. I'm like, I haven't seen you since Labyrinth, mate.
Oh, great film.
I was really sad that he never did more acting. But anyway, right, we will actually we left all our tangents to the end. But I think we're nearly 3 hours now, and I do need to hydrate and
I really need to eat. I made a big bowl of potato salad which I'm now about to fucking destroy.
You need to start eating before the stream, Tig.
Oh.
No.
I can't eat at like 6:30. That's not right.
Right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.